What is going on, everyone? Hello and welcome to the Arcadia Network. My name is Corona. As always, I am your streamer. How's everyone doing today? Hello, Amy. How are you feeling today? Did Marvel Rivals end up updating, or did it be big stinky on you? Anyway, we are today taking on the... it's also because I was being a bit calmer on my voice. This is kind of the average voice. So, this should be right about roughly where it normally is. Today we are taking on the next chapter of Honkai Impact 3rd. This will obviously be a two-parter. As always, I've checked the size and the length of the story, give or take. This might be one of the final chapters of Part 2, as it currently is. I have heard on the grapevine that they are looking at changing how stories go after this chapter. I don't know if that's true or not. Have to see how it goes. I'm sorry to hear it didn't download, Amy. Oh, fucking hell. We'll get you playing again at some point, somehow. I promise you that. But, so today's story sees a return of Vida in a rose in Curtsy. Cherish the beauty that blooms only for a fleeting instant, and those enchanted by its light, even as dusk slips quietly into the night, and time bids its farewell. It will be interesting to see how this closes, but before we start, I want to just quickly brag. So, I did a 10 poll, and, What? Hang on. It says she's all the way at the front. There's so many characters now. And, I got the new sealer! Hooray! I don't know how she's gonna play, but I managed to get her at least, so I'm happy with that. Anyway, I'm gonna stop stalling. We got stuff to do. Let's start. After the Doomstone countdown restarted, Nob looks at little Layla hostage and demands the Dreamseeker party head to the Dragon's Lair. From Vegeta, Coraline, and Helia learned part of the true history following the fall of Thing. Meanwhile, Dreamseeker found Severum and, with her help, entered Senadina's retrospective dream to uncover the truth. How's the volume of the game? It's a little low, hang on. The truth inside the retrospective dream went far beyond the Dreamseeker's imagination. The god she encountered in the very first sector was actually the real Senadina. After embracing death, she was awakened once again by Layla. After being placed into the first sector by Layla, Senadina spent ages there. It wasn't until the fateful day, by a twist of fate, she dreamed of by the Dreamseeker, and made a promise with her to save Lu Xuan. Meanwhile, little Layla had a stroll and a heart-to-heart with Narla in the Dragon's Lair. For the first time, she came to understand the other side of Narla, but the beauty facade ultimately shattered at the end of the game. To protect Thing, and though she holds dear, Narla feigned submission. In the ensuing battle, she coordinated with the Dreamseeker to bind Layla, who was hidden in shadow. Thanks to the preparations made in advance, Senadina managed to reach Layla. Knowing she was outmatched, Layla seized the chance to trap Dreamseeker, forcing Senadina to choose between Dreamseeker and the fate of Lu Xuan. The rising sun is often likened to newborn hope. That's better. Although, knowing the rising and setting of the sun is endless, people still step into the night, holding out hope for light. So, When the marks of time are hidden in long shadow, someone has to carry the light and walk into the night. From the very beginning to the very end, all the way until the sun rises again. When she stands at that end and looks back, what do you think she'll see? The original impasse, it's fluctuating. Stay the course, full speed ahead! It's our only chance to break into the star system. Can Lady Narala hold out until... Nana, what's she doing? It's a little too fast, guys, still. Hey, wake up. Wake the fuck up, samurai, we got a city to burn. This dream again. Someone left me a message? Who could it be? Your Highness, Lady Narala briefly regained consciousness just now. I was going to get you so we could see it together, but you were so exhausted that you fell asleep right at your desk, right even closing your door. Carrying you to bed wasn't easy, so you better have a good dream. Even if the dream doesn't go exactly your way, it's okay. At least reality is getting better. You have no idea. The first thing Lady Narala did when she woke up was look for something to eat, although she fell right back asleep after eating just a small slice of cake. Today marks the 10th day since we've broken through the intertidal zone. No matter how much we keep thinking about what happened 10 days ago, we can't change it. We should keep looking ahead towards the planet we've chosen, right? We've been sailing together for so long, but at least still treats me like a junior. She needs to look after. Still, this is the second good thing that's happened in these past few days. For the first one, as everyone observed, after breaking through the intertidal zone, we arrived at the only tranquil star system so far. It'll be even better if this good thing didn't come at the cost of Nana nearly exhausting her life force. I'll go check the observation room. It's good to have Senna back. It is nice to have her back. Like, properly. Oh! As I was saying... Oh! She's switching behind herself and godhood again! I feel like someone's watching me. Is it me? The player? Ah, Latos! Latos jump scare! White man jump scare! Apologies, I seem to have startled you. No worries, I was just spooking myself. By the way, did you get to talk to Nana when she first woke up? How's she doing? She asked me to bring her everything we had to eat, and to whip up a couple of dishes if there weren't any. But when I brought out the dishes, she closed her eyes peacefully, saying a single slice of cake was enough to satisfy her. What about the food? I just finished eating. Even Nana always getting into things like that. Still, like Elise said, whatever happens in dreams, at least reality is slowly getting better, as it is right now. How's this gonna link back around to Kiana is my question. Rebel 2, the observation room. You can tell they're going for more cinematic here than in previous chapters. Open the blinds! Oh. Essence leaving. We've thrown away any chance of starting over in the vast expanse of the stars. If it was fate that brought us to the star system, how much further can we go? According to Vince, the closest planet to us has the most stable ecosystem in the star system and offers the best hope for survival. And its biggest moon is twinkling, almost like it's calling out to us, telling us this planet it protects holds a possibility. The possibility for us to survive, the possibility for us to have a tomorrow. I wonder if this planet already has inhabitants of its own. If it does, I hope they'll be willing to take us in, uninvited as we are. And if they could grow to like us over time, all the better. If no life has emerged here yet, then we'll make it our new home and protect it. Always. I believe this planet will watch over everyone, like the best lands of Luo back in Lagdor mythology. It's Lagdor? Hang on, well, quiet. Laquadar. I really Laquador, it's Laquadar, it's an A on there. Oh my god. All these, as I said, I don't understand some of these names, so I'm always gonna make mistakes. I even hope it'll quit us with this. Hello, Lowstring. Before we knew it, we reached the end of the journey. We were so reluctant to leave behind. Time flew faster than I expected. Luckily, construction of Lowstring has been going smoothly. I do hope it's a land of plenty. Maybe in a few years, we'll be able to reach there and build a new city with their tech. And the city will have bustling commercial districts, picturesque towns, and quiet libraries where you can gather your thoughts. Plus, it'll often host events that excite the public. Thanks to our hard work, everyone living here will get to enjoy it every single day. We can definitely do it. Your Highness, hurry over here! I'm coming! Your Highness, Equal Transformers can run much longer after the upgrade. I was just supposed to replace this one's parts a week ago. Does that mean the Eco Dome Core will be put on the agenda soon? The Eco Dome Core has to sustain the ecosystem for an entire city. The construction tab aside, the sheer amount of resource that needs to build it is a challenge. In the short term, it's probably best to stockpile Eco Transformers as a precaution. I see. What's that smell? Deep-fried, colorful berry gummies, bloody boiled banana leaves, mangrove bean cake, golden bling-bling jelly, and baba? Hold on, if I say that day, I can never repeat. Can you pass me a crystal mineral flake shard? Did you say this kind of salt doesn't match your palate at all? Palate is one thing, eating is another. Hey, you brought it up on purpose to hear me say it again. We wouldn't touch it if it didn't neutralize all the weird reactions we experienced. Honestly, it only tastes a bit sweeter going down because we got to watch you tuck in first. You really do have a knack for making the best of a bad situation. Making the best of a bad situation is where the real fun is. Speaking of which, the Watcher apparently found some unrecorded plans about a day trip from camp. Your Highness, we finally got a chance to rest. Surely you weren't thinking of running off again. That's how I relax. Want to come with me tomorrow? Tomorrow, I'm actually on camp maintenance tomorrow. No worries, I can go by myself. Huh? Well, I just said. Where's Elise?
Peter, the horse is here.
Oh, yeah.
The horse is here again? Hello, Robbie. How are you today? Huh? She hasn't been sleeping well lately. She's been worrying about the expedition team.
そんなに心配し
What
なく
could
ていい
possibly
の
happen
に
to the expedition
全員
team?
に最先端の武器
They
を
took
持
our
たせて
most
ほしい
advanced weaponry
秘
before
密
setting
資産
off.
までついていってるんだ
And
から
even Grandpa Fritz went
それ
with
に
them.
もし
If
彼ら
anything
に
happened to
何
them,
かが起きてた
we
ら
wouldn't still be
今
here
こうし
talking,
て
would
のん
we?
きに話せるわけ
フリッツおじいさん
Grandpa
も
Fitz went
一緒
too?
に
さあフリッ
Yep,
ツじい
Grandpa
さん
Fitz, Tassel,
夏
you,
シュ
Charlotta,
ル
and
ルロータ
Kulma went.
ク
See?
ーラまで
What a
ほら
professional team.
プロチームみたいなメンバーで
確かに
I guess so.
そんなことより
Rather than
1
worrying
週間
about
後の
that,
上
we
陸
should
記
be
念以外
thinking
の
about
テー
the
マを考
theme
え
for
て
the
くれた
landing
方が
anniversary a week
助
from
かるよ
now. Oh, it's my turn to
今
plan
回
it
は
this
私が
time.
企画を担当してる
All
ん
the
だけ
good
ど
ideas have
いい
conveniently
アイデ
been
アは
used in
過去の
previous
記念日で
ones.
もうほとんど作
ここで過ごした年数
Why don't we
テ
try
ーマにしてみ
bashing
た
on
ら
how many years we spent here?
で
We could plan all the events around a specific number, like.
甘い
You really think no one's tried that
今ま
before?
で姫様は無産の
Looks like Her Highness just needs to get out more.
怪しいものを
Instead of
見て
holding
ば
up
っか
in
り
the
ないで
incalculable
もっと
box
外に
filling
出よ
with
う
that
よ
arcane stuff.
拠点は安全なんだから
The camp's
一緒
perfectly
に行こう
safe, so there's no need to be on
君
edge.
も
Right,
そう
little
思う
guy?
よ
Marketable.
その子は
And you are?
こいつを引き取ってから
It's
結
been
構
living
長
with
く
us so
一緒にいた
long
の
since we
に
took it in.
ちょっと
Don't tell me you can't recognize the little guy just because he grew up a bit.
全
Right,
員の言
I
う通
really
り
should
だ
get
ね
out more.
もっと
Otherwise,
外に出
how
な
could
きゃ
I not even recognize you?
エントロピー
Entropy.
もう白状者
You thick
姫
little
様が
thing.
無産の箱
I
に
was the
こ
one
も
who
って
spent
る
the
間
most time with Her
一番
Highness.
長く一緒にいてあ
With
げ
you
たの
while Her
は
Highness was
私
in
で
the
しょ
incalculable box, wasn't I?
姫様に
So why
会
do
っ
you
た
cling
途
to
端
her
に
in the
そっち
moments
に
that
夢
you
中だなん
see
て
her?
いうか姫様が一
I
体
haven't even
無
had
産
time
の
to share the
箱か
news
ら
about
出
Her
てきた
Highness
こと
temporarily leaving
ま
the
だ教
incalculable
えてなかった
box.
ね
How do you find out?
一体どこで
Why
知
do
っ
you
たの
pop out from behind her
突
like a
然影
shadow?
みたいに背後から飛び出して
匂い
Sina in
リアは
different
匂いはは
scent.
なるほどね
that makes
納
sense.
得どんなに友
No
達
matter
と
what
一
you
緒に
enjoyed
遊ぶの
playing
が
with your
大好きで
friends,
も
Mama will always be number one in your
ママが
heart.
ちょっと何一人で
What sense does that make?
だってこの子を最初に見つけ
But
て
you really were the
救い出
first
した
to
のは
find the little
間違い
one.
なく姫様でしょ
And you're the one who saved it.
誰にでもで
No
き
one
る
else
こ
could
と
have
じゃ
done
ないんだ
that.
から
そうだけどさすがに
That said, I can't just let Entropy go around calling me.
マって呼
Calling
ば
me
せる
mama.
私
I.
エントロピーがこんなに
Of
懐い
course.
てくれて
Whoa, my
It's
chest
not
here. That's
easy,
fun to
no.
me. Whoa.
Demo.
Oh, yeah.
あ
Ow,
な
my
たの名前
wrist. I
は
slipped
みんなで
backwards.
一緒に考えたでし
Oh,
ょ
flip. Of course, I'm really happy that Entropy likes me so much, but we named you together.
だから
If I get technical, Zen counts as your mama
あなた
too.
の
あーまた姫様がズルしよう
Whoa,
として
the
る
princess playing foul again.
あなたが先に冗談を
Well,
言
you
ったんじゃない
started it with that joke.
それでエントロピー
So,
は姫様
Entropy,
に何の
do
用
you need something from your highness?
これ
Uh,
持ってきたこれって
my
私
expedition
の
notes? Oh boy, that's gonna be a lot of reading.
しばらくナナに会え
I
て
haven't
ない
seen
けど
Nana in a while.
ちゃんと
Now she's
回復して
recovering.
るから
体調が悪かったら
A
食
person's
欲も湧かない
condition
から心
always
配
shows
な
in
い
their
と思う
appetite first.
どっちかとい
You
え
have no
ば
idea.
ゼリーか何か
Sometimes
と
I
間違
honestly
えて
worry that
ラハ
Lady
ラ
Nara
様がエ
might
ント
swallow
ロピーをペロッ
entropy
と飲み
whole,
込んじゃいそうで
treating it like
そっちの
jelly
方
or
が
some other
心配か
snack.
も
Then
まあ
again,
エントロ
I'm
ピーの
curious
味
what
が
entropy
気になら
tastes
ない
like.
もうそれ以上からかったら
Keep scaring it like that. Someone's gonna become a bad mother in its eyes.
まさか
No
こんな
way.
にいい子が
Entropy's so
私を
sweet.
嫌
How
う
could he
わけ
not
ないじゃ
like
ない
me?
うん
At
何
most,
かしたとし
it
ても
just chooses to stay in
一緒
my
にいる
arms
時
while you and I are
私
both
の腕の
around.
中に
まったくそういう自慢は
Is
心の
someone
中で
secretly
アピール
feeling
してくれる
smug? Anyway, prevent Narana from accidentally eating white jelly. I feel like I need to get what you're talking to.
私から
Entropy, do you know where she is?
こっち
This way. Give me 1 second, guys. There we go. I had to quickly look up how long the chapter is, right about where we're looking. This is...
ずっと胸騒ぎが
My heart won't stop pounding.
こ
This
の隙
uneasy
間のせいかな
feeling. Is it because of the fracture? Is entombing.
ダメみたい
It won't close?
後でみんなに聞いてみよう
I'll have to find a chance to ask the others later. So, the big things that I found out is I was wrong. It's 9.0 is set to be the end, so I do apologize. And,
近くに崩壊
yeah,
エネルギー反応がある。
there's a lot today to go
久
through.
しぶりナナ。
Long time no see, Nana.
ここ
It's
で
so
会
rare
う
to see you out
珍しい
here.
ね。
I figured you'd be curled up in bed, and I'd have to yank the blanket off before you'd finally drag yourself out.
そんな元気のない
I'm
姿
so
を見せる
listless.
と
I'll only make everyone
皆に
worry.
心配
Hmm?
君も見てみる
Look,
といい
everyone's set up camp around the
皆が
starship,
星船を中
and they
心に
head out
拠
to
点
explore
を
now
作
and
り
then.
時折
Progress
外
has been a
を
bit
探
slower
索し
than
ている
planned, but staying safe
開
and
拓の
sound
進
is
捗
the
は
best luck
計画よ
of
り
all.
少し遅れに
Besides,
私もだいぶ
I've
回
mostly
復
recovered
してい
from
る
the wounds left by the damage to my life force.
そんなこと
You
言う
don't
の。
sound like yourself today.
なんだ
You
か
didn't say
ナナら
eat
しく
something
ない
funny
ね。
again today, did you?
心外だな
Of course not.
竜は
Dragons
変な
never
ものな
eat
ど
just
口にしない
anything.
ナナ、
Nana,
拠点の
have you
近
seen
く
a
に
glowing purple
光
fraction
る
in the
紫
camp?
色のスキ。
いや
No.
じゃあ、
Since you haven't, wanna come with me to see it? It glows, you know?
光る
Glowing or
それ
not.
がどうした
Does it make a difference?
光るものに対して、
There's no way Nana would react that way to something glowing.
ナナ、
Who
一体
are you?
我らも同じように学生で10年を経た我ら
It's the Sims. They're here.
無人に勝てる
We learned about these in the first half of the chapter.
こう見えても
I don't remember what they were called. The Tenants or the Sins or something like that. But they're here. Oh! We're back at the Mars supercomputer? Oh, sorry, the Moon supercomputer, sorry.
親愛なる仲間たち
Have a little more
もう少
patience,
し
my
辛
dear
抱
friend.
して
You disturbed the
何しろ
god
今
this
回
time.
未だに夢追い人と連
Until we
絡が取れ
regain
ないんだ
contact with Corona,
あなた
we
みたい
really
に
can't be as patient as you.
コラリ
Crowley,
二人でもう一
how
回
would we
試
try
してみ
forcing our way into the system
システ
one
ム
more
強
time?
制アクセスアインシュタインですら
Even
お手
I
上げな
can't
んだ
crack it right now.
いや
Then again, maybe
もしかしたら彼女
she's
が
just
学者
too
肌す
by
ぎ
the
るせいか
book.
機械が再
Sometimes
起動
machines
に
come
再
back
設
to
を
life, you
繰り返した
restart
り
them a few
蹴っ
more
たりすること
times,
で治る
reconnect
時
them
は
a few more times, reconnect
別
them
に
a few
試
more
しても損
times.
しないよね
I don't mind a few rounds of that.
これ以上の無茶は見過ごせないよ
I would recommend recklessly rushing back into the control cabin, officially speaking.
残念だが観測とテストを
And forget, unfortunately, based on our observations and
こ
testing,
の結論を出さ
Dr.
ざるを
Tesla
得な
and I agree it is a foregone conclusion.
外部から
Earthlings
システム
cannot
にア
log
クセ
into
ス
the
する
system
手段は
from the
ないと
outside.
それだけじゃない
Personally speaking,
さっきの身体検査の
based
結
on
果
our
を見させて
recent
もらったよ
physical exam reports,
あなたたち
all you need to do
今
now
は
is
しっかり
rest up
休ん
in
で
preparation for the
今後の
upcoming
再アクセス
reconnection.
に今後の
The
再アクセ
upcoming
スですか
reconnection.
あなたたちは最初の火
As
星
the
探
Vanguard
索
of
小
Mars
隊のメ
Exploration
ンバー
Squad,
として
since you're both so resolute and have done so well,
素晴ら
we,
しい
as your
活躍を
seniors,
見せてくれ
won't
た
unreasonably interfere with your efforts to
そ
save
ん
your
なあ
friend.
なたたちやった
Awesome!
とはいえ火星の量子
However,
コンピュ
the
ーターの
situation
状
with
況
Mars
は
quantum
深刻
computer is
化する一方
escalating.
ね
Now,
とりあえ
let's
ず
go back over the
システム
process,
が
how
暴
the
走した
system lost
経緯
control.
をもう一度どこから話せ
Where
ば
would
い
I
いの
start?
先輩たちがシステ
When
ムの
did you use
中を観測
visibility
でき
into
なく
the
なったの
system?
もちろん
Obviously, up until you was got hit by
待
Nara.
って待って
Hold
いき
on.
なりそんな
Why are you jumping to
難しくなっ
such
ちゃうミス
embarrassing
詳しく
details
話さなくても
again?
詳しく話してくれた方が
Being specific helps everyone.
そうだね
Your senpai's
詳しく
right.
言うと
To be
シ
more
ステム内部
specific,
を観測でき
the
なく
instant
な
we
った
lost
の
visibility in the system
Layla
should
が
be line of the
直接
instant
ナハラを
Layla
操って
took direct control of
私を
Nara's
殺
body
そう
and
とした
tried
タ
to
イ
kill
ミン
me.
グと一致してる
私は間に合わなかったんです
It was a step too slow. Thankfully, Corona stepped in. Coraline would have taken
あ
that
の
hit
一
head
撃
on.
セナディアが現れることも
Was
あなたたちの計画の
Senadina's
中に
appearance
入
part
っ
of
て
your
たの
plan?
いいえ
No.
私たち
We
の
were caught off
想
guard.
定きっとセナは
I
何ら
think
かの手段
Senna somehow found out
私た
what
ち
we
が
knew.
掴んでる情報を知
While
った
we
ん
were
だと思い
training,
ます
she was making her own
もしかしたら
preparations.
でも直
But
接レイラ
making
と接
direct
触す
contact
ると
with Layla involves
不確
too
定
much
要素が
variables.
多くなりますから
She probably didn't want us to
私たちを
worry,
心
so
配させ
she
ないた
didn't
めに
tell us outright.
黙ってたのかもしれ
セナのおかげで
Senna's
確かに形勢
arrival
は
did
逆
turn
転した
tide
よ
of battle for a
ほんの
bit.
ちょっとだったけどね
I guess even she didn't
But
expect a sweet little Layla
彼
to
女も
be
予想
such
して
a
なかっ
rebel
た
that
と
wouldn't
思うん
even
だ
listen to her.
ないその時事態をすぐに
Upon
察した
realizing
夢
this,
追い人
Chrono
が
immediately reversed the
Suddenly
flow of the
夢の流れを
dream,
逆転
sweeping
させたんです。
Layla into a time vortex of her own making.
でも
Unfortunately, that only held Layla back a few seconds before she seized control of the retrospective dream, trying to drag everyone in. We'd also been swept in the vortex. The consequences would have been unimaginable.
そんな私たちを
None of
救
them
ってくれ
saved
たのは
us.
自分の最後の運
To
命を
break
費
free
や
from
すこ
Layla's
とすら
control
厭
that
わ
was
ず
struck back at her.
レイラ
Now
の
that
支
willingly
配から抜
burned
け
away
出
the
して
last of her life
私
force.
たちがセナに傷を
Even
癒
though
してもら
Senna
った
healed
と
her
はいえ
injuries, the previous battle
あ
left
の
her
一戦
severely
ですごく消
weakened.
耗してたはず
She
なのに
forced herself to tear open an exit in her lair for us to
Mulish.
escape.
私たちが脱
As
出する
for
ために
her,
出口をねえアインシュタイ
I
ン
mean,
システム
you
内
think
の
the
コード
defang
の人
Vulcan
たち
system are
大
gonna
丈
be
夫かな
okay? I'm really
私
worried.
すごく
これまでの状況から考える
Judging
と
by previous situations, as long as Krona's consciousness remains
シ
intact,
ステムによって
their
彼らの
existence
存
won't be
在がリセ
reset
ッ
by
ト
the
される
system's
ことはないだろ
rules. But after
But-
Layla's
う
intervention,
レイラが介入してい
we'll
る
have
の
the
は
same rules still
そ
hold
の
as
ルール
anyone's
自体が
guess.
もちろん僕も
Like you,
システ
I
ム
hope
内
the
部の事態
situation
が
inside
そ
the
こまで
system
悪化
hasn't
していないよう
deteriorated
に
to
願
that
ってい
extent.
るよただ
However,
今も
the
月での
changes
異変
occurring
が
on the
進
moon
行して
forced
い
me
る
to
以上
assume the worst.
最悪
みんなもここに来る途中で
You must have seen the
月
time
面に
fractures
点
scattered
在して
across
る
the
時
lunar
空の
surface
隙
on
間
the
を
way
見たわよ
here.
ね
May and Bronya
メ
were
イ
the
とド
first
ロ
to
ーには
investigate and
真っ
attempt
先にそ
repairs.
の狭間結論から言うと
Our conclusion is that these time fractures are structurally identical to the corruption
かつて
rifts that
報
once
道に
appeared
現
in
れた
Defang.
新現状時
While
空
they're
の
no
隙間に
danger for
近づ
now,
かなければ
as long
問
as we
題ない
don't actively approach the time fractures, the time fractures will expand over time.
間違いなく
There's
広
no
がっていく
telling
で
if
しょう
anything strange might emerge from them once they reach a certain scale.
中から変
そんなにいろい
Can
ろ
Layla
同時に
really
発生
pull
さ
all
せる
this
なん
off
て
at once?
レイラに本当
Wrestling
に
Krona
できる
for
んでしょうか
control of the retrospective
そこの主
locking
導
the
権
system
夢
down
追い
so
人
no
と
one can
奪い
enter,
合い
exit,
シス
or
テムへのア
observe
ク
it,
セスや観測
creating
を
time
通じて
fractures on the moon to
さら
disrupt
に
our
好
operations.
きにコラリーの言葉を
In
借り
Carlite
るなら
terms,
そんなの
this
完全
totally
にチート
counts
じゃない
as
ですか
cheats.
チートはプレイヤー
Using
側に対
cheats
する
for
言葉だから
players.
制作側
From
の
a
あいつに言っ
scientific
ても意味ないでし
angle,
ょ
I have a theory about what she actually did.
か聞か
Let's
せてく
hear
れない
it.
か
レイラは
Helia said Layla did three
システム
things.
の閉鎖
Seize
時空の隙間
control,
の操作
lock down the
この
system,
3つを
and
同
create
時に
time
こなしたって
fractures.
ヘリアが言ったよね
But what if she actually only wanted to do one thing?
もし彼女の
Seize
本当
control.
の目的これまで
Before
System
this, the
was
entire
the
system was under
Layla's
Layla's
high
control. Krona was the
Somebody
first
Kanada
thing to
did.
actually pose a
夢
threat
追い
to
人
her.
そう考えると私たちって急に運転席の下から現れてパンチしながらレイラのハン
Our
ドルを
actions
奪
were
おう
like
としたよう
popping
な
out
もん
from
でし
under
ょ
the driver's seat, punching
だから
Layla and grabbing the
他のこと
steering
を考
wheel.
える余裕なんてなかったんじゃない
In that situation, I doubt she has the luxury to worry about anything else.
ああハンドルを取り返すために
Take a drink, my throat.
レイラはシステムの安定稼働を支えていた一部のパーツの制御を手放したのかもしれないね
Indeed.
システ
To
ムにア
retake
ク
the
セスでき
steering,
ないのも
Layla may have relinquished control over certain basic
全
components
部
to
シ
keep
ス
the
テムエ
system
ラーによ
stable.
るものだろう
Our inability to access the system, time fractures on the moon, are both signs the system is losing control.
この当たってほしくない推測がもし
It's
真
hard to
実だ
crack
っ
a
たら
smile when such a grim
正直笑
theory
えないね
actually checks out.
長い年月の中で
Over such a long period of time, this is like the first time Layla has to
レイ
let
ラに
go
とっ
of
て初めて
something
の出来
she
事だっ
once
たん
held
じ
in
ゃ
her
ないかな
hands.
パーツ
We've
がない
only
車
ever
に
seen
ど
this
んな
vehicle
問題
running
が発生
smoothly,
す
so
るか
it's
は
difficult to predict what
走っている
problems
様
might
子しか
arise
見て
when
い
it
なかっ
loses
た
its
僕たちは
component.
じゃあそこにいる
Does
自
the
動車
vehicle
メーカー
manufacturer have any
心
ideas
当たり
about this?
レイラが乗ってるのは改造車
Layla drives a modified
定
car.
期的にメンテナンスをしてる
Sure,
から
I
ね
maintain it regularly, but
彼女が後から追加した
I
細
can't
かい
possibly
パ
know
ー
the
ツの
ins
全
and
てを
outs of every
私
little
が
part
把握
she
してる
adds
わ
to
けない
it.
でし逆に言えば
Then again, since it was her poor handling that caused the vehicle to lose control,
彼女の
I should be able to wash my hands of its maintenance guilt-free.
ただ
その態度
That attitude, it's like showing up for work, finding the doors locked, and instantly fast-forwarding to packing up and going home for a vacation.
何がいけないの
What's wrong with that?
合理的かつ合
It's
法
only by
的に
slacking
サボ
off
って
legitimately that people
人は
really
本
get to
当
do what
に
they
やりた
want.
いこと
それはそうだけど
You can't hide the look of someone wanting to slack off, and I don't see it in your eyes.
あなたは
You live
夢追い
inside
人
this
システ
company
ム
called
って
the
いう
Dream Seeker
会社
System.
に住んでるみ
The
たいなもの
company
で
is
しょ
your home.
家
You
同
can't
然
just
の
pick it
会
up
社
and
ごと
run.
逃げ出すなんて無
The
理
Mars
よね
quantum computer is going haywire. It's
火
bound
星
to
の量
affect
子
you.
コンその証拠に
Your hollow projection has
私
been
たちが
flickering
話
numerous
してる
times
間
to
に
the
も
instability
あ
during
な
our
たのホロ
conversation.
グラムは何度
Proving
も
me
不安
right.
定アジト
Vegeta,
サボりに関しては
I'd say I know a thing or two about
私
slacking
にも
off.
ちょっと覚えがあるの。
What you really want to do?
あなたが本
Might
当
hit
にや
close
り
to
たい
home
って
for
思
me
ってる
too.
こと。
やっぱり
I
残業
knew
の
it.
辛さを味わ
Someone who
ったこと
takes the misery of
実は
overtime can
残業に苦しむ
understand
人
that
が
those
根っ
working
からの
overtime
残
are
業好
born
きだっ
for
て
it.
ことが理解できるの
Overseer Teresa,
さすがだわ
you truly are my
親友
best
の
friend's
親
best
友の
friend.
テレサ
Here's the deal. I know everyone's eager to restore the access or open up another entry point. And I've been planning to do something about that too. Earthlings can't reconnect the system right now, but I'm different. I came from the system to begin with, so I might be able to bypass the authentication and directly... No, for me that wouldn't be entering. That would be going home.
もしかして
Are you also worried about your family back home?
家に
So, Overseer Teresa, what do you think?
今
what a
あからさまに
forced
話題
change
を
of
そら
topic.
しましたね時空の隙間の拡大
Whether
を
it's preventing the time fractures
シ
from
ステムに
expanding,
残された
for our
夢追い人
partner
を
Cronus
助け
stranded in
あ
the
なた
system
自身を
for
守る
your own safety.
少
I
なくと
believe
も
our interests
そ
align.
の3つのむしろ
In
あなたが
fact,
言い出さな
even
か
when
っ
you
た
hadn't brought it
と
up, I was
しても
planning to formally ask for
私
your
から
help.
正式にお願
You
いする
truly
つもり
are our
だ
last hope, Vegeta.
ハイペリオン11号
We'll
まで
send someone to
護衛を
escort
つ
you
ける
back
つ
to
も
the
りよ
Hyperion 11.
でも
But after that,
そこからの
you have to go
道
the
は
rest of the way on
あ
your
なた
own.
一人
Well, since you put it that way, I can hardly find an elegant excuse to take it easy. As reluctant as I am to leave this place, I do know how to return a favor. How could I bear to watch the two friends who freed me from my cage end up in the same predicament I was in?
それって夢追い人か
Krona and my dear friend, the one whose fate I still don't know.
生死不明
Fate
って
I
こ
don't
と
know,
は
which means...
冗談はそこまで
Enough
にして
joking
くださ
around,
い
since it's settled.
話は
Let's head out now,
決まった
Dr.
ことです
Vegeta. Is it Senna? Or is it... Oh, we gotta play Seela! The way they described you, Seela, you sound like a general person, but since I got here, you will have seen me as no nonsense.
誰から
By they, you mean your two loving juniors, and, well, my dear friend.
ここは私に任せて
Dr.
くださ
Vegeta,
い
I'll handle things here. Right, we gotta actually try her out in the
凶暴
combat.
になってるまるで何かに刺激されたみたいアインシュタイン博士の言う通りだあらゆる命を帰るべき場所へ
Okay, this is an adaptation of her full version then.
チャンス
Which is interesting.
チャンス痛み集まって
This is very similar to how her healer form played. But it feels like a proper adaptation. I like
こ
that.
の翼で神聖に向かう
Background to stacks, okay.
平常心平常心
Can't see my fair
修
stare
羅場
of
が慣れてる
schools. Is that by chance a crack? Hello. Oh. Pacify?
安心してください
Don't worry, I'll deal
今
about
か
the
ら
source of
問題の
this.
元凶を解決
ゼーレ隊長
Come see it. I'm a little nervous.
今じゃも
Through the fracture, I can
覗
see
くと
this creature swimming in
う
the
デ
sea
ー
of
タの
data.
普段相手にしてるや
Maybe
つ
it's
ら
because
と
they look
姿が
different
違
from what
う
we
っていう
usually
の
deal
もある
with, and I keep worrying that I'll
し
mess
封鎖
my
措置を
fall
設置
in
する
with
とき
sending
に
signifies
操作
that
ミスで
I
わかります
I'm sending
あ
consent.
なたは
The work you're doing is dangerous, but Prometheus has given everyone locators.
でも
So even if he
プロ
falls
メ
in
テ
the
ウ
sea
ス
of
さん
data,
が
I'll
配っ
be
てくれ
right
た
there.
私は
I'm one of the
全ての
Valkyries
バル
most
キリー
familiar
の
with the
中で
sea, so you can
最
trust me.
も
ああわかった
Got it.
アジタ博士こっちの方が近いんです
その前に少し時間をもらってもいいかしら
Huh? You'd like a moment of my time? Is the giant... Oh, the giant face is still there.
さっきの会議で
From what I can
あなた
tell,
たち
your
は
attitude
火
at
星の
meetings
量子
seemed
コンピューターの
nowhere near
暴
as
走の
serious when
深
you
刻
were
さを口にしてた
assessing
の
the
に
Mars quantum
せっ
computer
か
going
詰ま
out
った
of
様子
control.
を見せなかったわ私に話を持っ
When
て
you
きた
brought
けど
up with me, you didn't
無
frame
駄
it in
に
a
プレ
way
ッ
that
シャーを
put
与
too
え
much
るよう
stress
な
on
言い
me.
方を
はい
Actually,
あの
the
会
reason
議
I
は
was holding the
ア
meeting
ジ
for
タ博士の
10%
ため
for
とい
you
うより
and
9
90%
割
for
は
Coraline
コラリ
Helia.
とヘリア
Oh.
実は
Before we
あ
met
な
with
た
the
た
three
ち
of
3
you,
人と会
Dr.
う前に
Einstein had a private
アイ
meeting
ン
but
シュタイ
with
ン
us.
博士
みんな揃ったし
Since everyone's here, I'll keep it brief.
僕とテスラの
If Tesla and I are correct in our deductions, the worst case scenario,
いずれ時空の
through the
隙間
time
からやって
fractures,
き
the
た
sea
デー
of
タの
data
分
will
が
gradually
月面
submerge
を
the
完
lunar
全に覆い尽く
surface.
し当然現
Of
時点では
course,
そ
at
れ
this
が地球
stage,
に
these
影響を与え
anomalies
る
aren't
ことは
enough
な
to
いし
affect Earth,
僕たち
and
の
I
神
have to
な
keep
ら対処でき
full
ると信
confidence
じて
in
る
our God. However, during her slumber, she still wishes to keep the
極力
unstable
不安
facts
要
to
素
a
を減らし
minimum,
たいというのが天
which
然の
is
意向
also
で
our
同時に
responsibility.
僕たちそれに
Dr.
アジ
Vegeta
タ
is an
博士は
important
僕た
partner
ちの
of
大
ours,
事な
so
協力者だ。
we shouldn't pile more pressure on
余計な
her,
プレッシャーを
nor should we
与え
come
るべき
across as threatening.
火星の危機を完
To
全に
finally
解決す
resolve
る
the
ために
crisis on Mars, I
今後のア
sincerely
ジタ
hope
博士
Dr.
は
Vegeta's next step
何事もな
will
く順調
proceed
に道を進め
unimpeded,
るよう心から
and
願
that
っている。
everyone is settled before the
僕
deadline
が
I've
算出
calculated.
しただが、何
There's
事にも
always
例外はある。
expectations.
万が一
If things truly reach the point of no return, I advise Overseer Teresa to execute the plan that guarantees the Earth's safety.
最も楽観的に
In the
見
most
積もれば
optimistic scenario,
失う
we'll
のは
only lose
ハイペリオン
Hyperion
11
11.
号だけという可能
Perhaps
性もあ
after
る。
it's launched into a distant galaxy, a more advanced civilization will hit the brakes on Mars.
より
This
強大な文
runaway
明が
car
現
of
れて
ours.
暴走しただ。
It's just
一
that
人の学者
as
と
a
して
scholar, I have a
心
filthy
底
regret,
残念にみんなを導く先輩
and
として
also
も
as
ね
an elder.
コラリーとヘリアは
Carla and Healy were the
最
first
初に
Valkyries
夢
to
追い
enter the
人
Dream
システム
Seeker
に
system.
関わったバルキリーですから
They'll cherish the people
この
they've
冒
met on this
険で出会っ
adventure
た
more
人
than
たち
anyone.
をそんな彼女たちに
We don't want to casually throw the dilemma of choosing between the
世
world
界
and
と
their
友
friends
達
at
の
them.
どちらかそういう問題に頭を悩ま
Warriors
せるの
like
は
these are best left to the grown-ups.
それはまた
Huh,
素敵
what
な
a
先輩
touching
と
senior-junior
後輩の
relationship.
そういうアジタ
Dr.
博
Vegeta,
士とビタさん
You and your best
関係
friend
も
Vita
かなり
also share a
気になり
touching
ますけどね
relationship, don't you?
なんだかお
You
二人
two are very similar in some
似てる
ways,
部
but
分
in
はと
others,
ことん似て
you're
るけど
fundamentally different.
ビタさんに対する
Knowing
私の
Vita as I
解釈
do,
的にも
given the
その
fundamental
根っこの
difference,
違いから考
I
え
think
ても
I'd be fine to tell you the
アジ
truth.
タさっきの
Only
アジタ
10%
博士の
is
比率が
because
1割だけだ
you'll
った
never
のは
disappoint when it comes to
期
never
待を裏切
disappointing.
らないって点で
As the two little
あなたが
ones,
信用に足る
they
人
give
だ
us
から
plenty
です
to
よ
worry about.
もしあなたが
That might be even more pleased if your answer was Dr. Vegeta has been a long, reliable friend to me.
私の
Dr.
中で
Vegeta
はね
has been a long, very reliable friend to me. Aww. Come on, guys, we're only half an hour in. You're giving a heartwarming moment? This ain't gonna last, is it? I know you, Impact Third. Nothing stays nice forever.
ここに来るまであなたの腕前は
Especially considering, Star Rail's animation
人間
style
に勝ったことがあるって
changed
聞い
in
たけど
Hina Goes to the
納
Impact
得
Third
で
style.
きる話ね彼女があなたを称賛する気
And
持
we
ち
do
も
know it is the same writing team. Uh-oh. I saw your skills for myself along the way, Miss Sealer. No wonder you managed to defeat my best friend back there. It seems her praise for you was no exaggeration.
まあ
It
あ
said,
なたたちが戦った
she was
理
vague
由に
about why the
つい
two
て
of you
は
fought back
教
then.
えて
そうですね
Dr. Vegeta, how do you view life?
学術的な定義
You're
につい
asking
て
for
聞
the
いてるなら
academic definition.
いろんな視点
I
で
can explain it from
いく
several
つか
different
の異なる
angles.
地球の命
Life on Earth,
世界の
life in
他の
bubble
命
universes, life occurring naturally, life born to the extract
エネルギーを
energy.
搾取
To
する
me,
ために
they're
生
all
ま
the
れ
same
た
kind
命
of life.
当時
Back
ビタ
then,
さんの命の
Vita
定
gave
義は
life a rather
す
narrow
ごく限
definition.
定的でした
Although, in hindsight, it's hard for me to tell if
それが
that
彼
was
女の
what she
真
really
意
thought
だ
or
ったの
just
か
another lie
他
she
の
spun
天
to
皇を
steal
騙す
Sar's
ために
authority.
ついたでも
But
私たちが
that
ぶつからざ
really
るを
was the
得
root
な
of
か
our
った根
conflict.
本的
なるほど
Hmm.
理
Sounds
由
perfectly
としてはか
justified.
なり合理的ね
I suppose it's only natural, my dear friend
親友もきっ
lost.
と
合理的かどうかは
It's not
関
about
係あ
whether
り
it
ま
was
せん
justified,
私たちはた
just
だ
did what we thought was
思う
right.
の
And
が正しい
if
と
I
思
could do
う
what I
道
love
を
again,
進んだ
I
だ
think
け
I'd still make the same
それ
choice.
にアジタ博士
Dr. Vegeta,
私が護
I
衛
can
で
only
きるの
escort
は
you this
ここ
far.
までです
Once you enter the system,
あなたが
I'll secure the area outside the
外
Hyperion
部
11.
から
その保証は永遠に続くの
Is
か
this
しら
promise permanent?
できる限りは
It's more of doing my best.
実現可能な契約よりいい
A
契
contract
約
is
は
only
ない
good
の
if it
よ
can be fulfilled.
今のは
And your promise is
永
far
遠だ
more
という
reassuring
ず
than
っと
permanent.
嬉しい約束だったわ
I'll trust you to watch my back
これ
then.
で安心
博士も
Doctor,
システムの中
please be
では
careful inside the
十
system.
分に
自分
volunteered
から
for this
提
job.
案しておいて
There's no
途
reason
中
to
で
back
投げ
out
出した
now.
りしないこれは
This is... There we go. Sorry everyone, had to take a quick 1-2 to grab my other fan because it is still sweltering. For those that are want to get this video dated, we're currently in our second heat wave, maybe third at this point, and it's horrible. It is horribly dry heat. But what is it, Vegeta? Oh,
セクター間のつなが
the
りが
connection
全部消え
between
た
all
っ
the
ていうの
sectors are all gone.
この仕
Stay
事
in
を
this
長
line
く
of work long enough and you'll come across
想定外
vulnerabilities
の
you
バグ
never
も想定
expected.
しなくこれじゃ
Even if I
仮
could
に
restore
私
the
がシ
Earthling's
ステム内
access
部
from
から
inside
地
the
球人
system,
のアク
or
セス権限を
open up
復
another
旧
entry
するな
point.
り
They'd
別
never
のアク
find
セ
their
ス
way
ポイン
back
ト
to
を
the
作
first
るなりした
sector
としても誰かがここに
unless
光を与えて
someone
くれ
can
ない
shine a
限
little
り
light
手の
here.
つけようが
I'm out of. Huh? A sudden burst of white light carved an opening in the darkness. Exactly. Like overflowing tribunals. Or tributaries. Countless glowing paths spilled from it, flowing slowly towards Ajita.
夢追い人
Is this
それともセナリ
Corona
ア
or Senadina?
どちらにしても他のことに気を配れるほど
Either
の
way,
余裕があるとは思
things
え
must
ないけ
be
ど
far from peaceful over there right now. She crouched down and reached out to touch a stream-like path. In an instant, the veteran back-end maintainer sensed a massive flood of information. Through long years of monitoring and looping, she now knew the system's countless possibilities like the back of her hand. But coming into contact with them like this was still a first. After recovering from her surprise, she quickly thought of what she could do with this information.
私が介入することで
There are many
アクセス
intervention
権限を
points
普及できる
to
ポイントは
restore
もと
the
もと
Earthling's
多くない
access.
それ
Factoring
に
the requirements in the
彼女
back
た
of
ち
the
を
first
最初の
sector
セ
to
ク
help
ターに
Corona,
戻して夢
Does
追
that
い
leave
人
me
を
with just
助けな
one
きゃならない
place?
なら現実と夢
The
の
liminal
狭間
space between reality and dreams. She needed to find the one branching path that would lead her there.
前回名前
The
を
last
聞い
time I
たのは
heard
前
that
回
name
だっ
was...
たはず
Well, the last time I heard it,
なんて
I've always
ず
known
っ
it
と存在だ
existed,
けは
but
知っ
I've
てた
never
けど
been there.
融通の利
Simply
かな
because
い
of my
雇い主の
terribly
せいで
unreasonable
一度
employer.
も言ったまあ
Then
その
again,
親愛なる
my
雇い主
dear
が
employer had
セ
severed
クター
connection
のつ
between
ながりを断
sectors.
ってなければ
How would I have to
そ
come
こ
to
に
this
行か
sorry
ずに
state
済
of
んだ
having
け
to
ど
go there?
これは状況に
You
迫ら
know
れて
how
い
it
るだけ
is. My hand was forced. Ooh, playable Vegeta as well. Yay! A clear path. Its far end was dimly lit, but it grew clearer the further out it stretched.
幸運の可能性の一つ
A lucky possibility.
少なくとも数
At
万
least
年
they've
も
been
の間
extrapolating peacefully for tens of thousands of years.
このセクターから着
Starting with
手
the
すれば
sector might be a breeze,
案外パパッと終
assuming
わ
I
ら
don't
せ
get
られるかも
overwhelmed by
しれない
something the second I step
は
inside.
い何せ
After
平
all,
和なセクタ
a
ーであれ
sector
ば
this
あるほ
peaceful has
ど衛
next to
星
no
に対
defense
抗
against
す
the
る
shadow
力なんて
calamity.
ない
A slightly winding path, fairly bright overall, with just a few twists and turns.
あら
I
覚え
remember
があるわ
this. It was highly
確か
entertaining
テ
occasion.
レサが初
Pretty
めて
similar
入
to
った
when
場所に
Teresa
似て
first
て
came in.
ここを通れば少
Is
しは
going
楽
this
しくなるん
way
じゃないか
making
し
the
ら
best of a bad situation?
目的に集中できるかどうかは
The dimmest of the paths, flickering in and out of sight even under the glare of an intense distant light. That's the one! The dangerous one is always the way to go! Ajita knew the sectors along the path too well. To be precise, she knew every sector in the system, but some were always more familiar than others. Was it home to her? Considering the delicate dynamic between her and her creator, that didn't sound accurate. Then, was it a starting point for her role as an observer? That was also difficult to ascertain. She, as the logs for hundreds of millions of years ago, had long since become illegible. But, in another sense, this place did mark the starting point for the low-strung quantum era astronomical storage hyperdimensional deep learning dream simulation engine. Try saying that 5 times fast, Jesus. The story of Krona, the Earthlings, and the series of events that followed all began here.
老朽
Along
7術
Seven Shoes. Dr. Achida is a true genius. As she murmured those words, she had already figured out why this path was dimly lit. But with that answer came several new questions.
クリア済みのセクターが
This
再び
cleared
侵食
sector
さ
was
れて
being
るみた
corrupted
いね
again. Case
原理は
unknown.
不明
Method
方法も不明
unknown.
そして対
Countermeasures
策も不明
unknown.
夢追い人が頻繁
Perhaps
に
because
干渉
Krona
した結果か
interfered
も
here the
しれないけ
most.
ど
But if the
その理
target
屈で破壊対象
to
を
destroy
選ぶ
was
としたら
chosen based on that logic? That moment, a rather dangerous thought crossed her mind. I'll start here. Taking this route to the sector should help her figure out what happened inside. It was a bit of a gamble, though, as a dimly lit path was a sign of danger itself.
ハイリスクだからこそ
But
ハイリ
risks
ター
and
ンがある
opportunity always go hand in hand.
ここの異変が
Twist
一
and
番
reward,
深刻だからこ
but I'm
そ今の
The
局面
anomalies
を
are
打
the
破
worst
する
here,
突破口を見つけら
making
れ
the
る
most
可能
likely
性
place
が
to
一
find
番
a way
高い
forward.
私が無事狭間にたどり着き
This data will
修
be
復作業を始めるときに
incredibly
こ
helpful
の資料が
once
きっ
I
と
make
役に
liminal
立ってくれる
space
わ
and begin repairing. Dr. Vegeta is a genius. Naturally, she's also a genius at convincing herself. By now, one of her feet was already on the path.
一人の学者としての私の
I'll
欲
think
求
of
を
it
満た
as
すため
indulging my
という
scholarly
ことにしてお
curiosity
く
a
わ
bit.
ね
So I guess I'm sitting in a really, really awkward fashion now just to ensure the fans get into me. Evidently, with the departure of the system observer, Krona, everything in the sector froze in the same moment. For Amber Street and Anku, this was a precious, fortunate moment. One on the verge of embracing the future. But to the system's back-end maintainer, it was but an unlikely stable moment.
まず具体的
Let me
にどこで
first
侵
pinpoint
食
where
が
the
起きてるか
corruptions
確認しなきゃ
occurred.
あなた元気
You're good, nothing wrong with you.
問題なさそうねあなたもアジタ博士を
You're
必
also a
要
good
としない
person,
元
one
気
thing
な
you
人
need
ね
to worry about for now.
ちょっと元気すぎる
You're
わね
almost too good. This person was a familiar face in the system. Of course, to a competent maintainer, there were no complete strangers in the system.
回収担当者
A
ね
fear-gathering
失業とと
practitioner,
もに時間が止まるなんて
frozen in time in the exact moment she
幸運と言っていいのか
lost her
しら
job.
まあ
Is she
破滅
lucky?
の分岐へと向かった無数のセ
Compared
ク
to
タ
the
ーに比
countless
べたら
sectors heading towards
間
the
違
branch
い
of
なく幸運だ
annihilation. Oh, so she is. Ajita had seen the people of every era. By comparison, the natives of Lanka had a deep connection with her. After all, the original was a local. The customs of Amber Street, or the process of the Fear Gap, were among the back-end maintainers' intimate memories. But in terms of how often they faced annihilation, these locals that she had acquainted with had contributed no fewer observation log entries than any other sector. She recalled Seeley's question from not so long ago. She could provide several academic definitions, whether her theoretical framework, the person frozen in time before her, and her freely moving self before that person undoubtedly belonged to the same form of life.
は
I feel like
私って
people
い
misunderstand
つ
me
も
a
誤
lot.
解され
Justified was a genuine acknowledgement from her. Even she had the higher permissions than ordinary simulated life forms and could roam the many eras at will. She by no means saw herself as a superior. She was accustomed to observing the growth and decay of simulated lives, just as the lives inside the system would not spare her a glance at the moment of her demise, should that moment arrive prematurely.
そういう視点から見れば
In that sense,
私たちはこの
we're
上ない
perfectly
ほど
equal.
平等ねあれは
Selma? Although she thought the corruption was real, the moment she saw Selma's incomplete body, she confirmed her suspicion.
7術ね
It's the seven shoes.
な
I
るほ
see.
どこれでこの分量が
This is
一
why
番
the
暗か
root
っ
is
た
the
理由が分かっ
dimmest.
た
Some
わ
of the data concerns of the
7 術
shoes are
に関するデー
dead.
タの一部が完
As
全
the
に
most
破損
powerful
している
figures in the sector,
こ
their
のセクター
survival
の
alone
最
can
強
affect the
格といえ
brightness
る
of an
彼ら
entire
の存
path.
続はセクターの破損自体
A
は
dead
特
sector
別
is
珍
nothing
しいことで
new,
もない
but
けど
for this death, it's
特定の
only
対象だけを狙うとなる
Imagining the standoff going on somewhere, Ajita shook her head with a weary smile.
珍しいって言葉が安く
A
聞こえ
wry
るくら
smile, so.
い珍しい出来事が溢れ返ってる世の中
There are enough
そ
notes
れ
in
が
the
増えた
world
ところで
already. Seeing a few
どう
more
って
wouldn't
こと
hurt.
ないわ
Out of habit, she went to bring up her terminal to patch the corrupted data. It took one swipe, then a second through the empty air, before it slowly dawned on her.
ここでは過去のデータを
Can't call
直
on
接呼び
historic
出せ
data
ないみたい
either. Makes
So they must
sense.
pause in
I saw plenty of locks out there
外にいた
earlier.
時
She took 2 steps back, studying the girl's increasingly fragmented data. She still carried an imposing air, and her attire was finely tailored. Judging by the timeline, she still didn't know about Song's resurrection, and was busy planning that endless banquet where even Song could eat to her heart's content. She found herself recalling memories that weren't hers. It was the first time Dr. Ajita saw that ingenious attire. From the very day it was tailored, its owner knew how to use it to flaunt her taste and worth. At the negotiating table, these advantages would easily translate to bargaining chips. She waited a long time, yet the noble before her simply continued sipping her tea at her leisure, showing absolutely no intention of using those chips. What seems to be the matter, Miss Collector? Should the tea not be to your liking, I can have some repairs, something different prepared. The manners reserved may not rival the magic pots, but that more than suffice for any tea party your nobility could host. Surely your palate is more forgiving than those old fogies. As far as I'm aware, you place great value on the quantity of your collection. The more the merrier naturally, but they must at least be worthy of being called collectibles. I see. You have your own standards. I respect those with taste. And I respect even those who cultivate it. It seems you understand why I'm here, Miss Selma. I grasp but half of it. At most, I have no penchant in hoarding rarities. Yet everything's fit to adorn the corridors must, at the very least, be something that catches my eye. Anything that catches my eye is no trifle. So it's hardly surprising that something here has attracted the great collector. I'm surprised by your candor. Usually in situations like this, the owner would pretend to be in control, clutching the item close, spinning the most outlandish tale, or just to wring out even a little more money from me. Do you believe I should have counted you among my likes? Not at all. In fact, it was your doing the exact opposite that piqued my interest. Oh, and my curiosity. I've long heard about the Shrews family head of seat, regent decisive style, so I didn't expect you to lower your asking price first. You're out every bit as full right as the rumors suggest, Mr. Cheetah. Before you share these rumors about me, allow me to correct one thing. I never intended to lower my asking price, Great Collector. I've decided from the start that whatever you put to your eye, I wouldn't charge a single cent for it, but respectfully offer it to you. Now that's the ultimate form of lowering your price. Indeed, the rumors about you often speak of your generous noble style, but I never thought I'd see it firsthand today. Do you truly believe that as well? For the first time, the young woman set down her teacup and leaned in close to Ajita, her gaze roaming over her, as if she was sizing her up for a bespoke outfit. I have in turn bestowed much on others, bounties, favors, nourishment. They may take them however they wish. You're a merchant. You are out to understand far better than they do what a contract without a price truly entails. True enough. Then I understand. I wasn't mistaken in you after all, Mr. Cheetah. You are worthy of becoming a regular at my banquet. Giving is the heaviest instrument of domination in this world. But we haven't reached that stage today. Given your vast knowledge, it'd be worthwhile to begin as friends. Not a bad transaction, you agree? After that, she still lowered her asking price. The frozen girl before her still wore the same spirited, confident expression she had back then. Excluding the corrupted data, remainder of her outfit was still quite stylish. In fact, even at this very moment, the corrupted area was slowly expanding. But Ajita had a theory. Perhaps the shoes in this sector would maintain their present demeanor, up until they degrade completely into corrupted data and disintegrate. However, as a scholar, Adida had no desire to verify her theory of an experiment today. That worked pretty well. The obvious noble girl had now been restored to her perfect form. Good thing I'm the one that showed up. However severe the damage, it all comes down to missing data. The system's historical records are inaccessible, but conveniently, the missing data only concerns the 7 shoes. The real Ajita is already one of them, and Ajita here is the very database of them. Surprisingly, repairing the 7 shoes turned out to be her easiest task in these past few days. With this repair, the data will remain stable for at least a few hours without fragmenting. It's entirely worth it. Preserving the 7 reduces the probability of the path crumbling. It has to hold out at least until I reach the liminal space between reality and dreams. Inspecting the damage to her body, I just couldn't help but recall the small segments of data she just discarded. Doesn't really count as my memory. Still, it's one of the few memories that predate the system's creation by my employer. It's undeniably precious. But to think I would give away such a precious memory without a moment's hesitation. A contract without a price offers the highest returns. Looks like you and I speak the same language when it comes to the subject of domination. What about Seraph? She should have been with someone at the time. Now the sector is frozen. Has she been completely corrupted or... Oh well, she's not here. No need to get out of my way to find her. Searching back and forth would be a waste of time. Even if I finish the Earth's quest as soon as possible, it'd be a good thing for her too. Right. I'm still a little warm, guys, so I'm just gonna go get some ice real quick. I'll be right back. There we go. Thank you for that, everyone. Oh! And look, it's all the shoes. Lantern is still. It's an interesting duo when the time froze. Give up, there's no chance. Before meeting the sheep, Ajita had theorized that the data corruption would progressively worsen depending on one's location within the sector. But Lantern was honestly in a slight worse state than expected. This can't be chalked to proximity and a shadow source. Looks like a relapse to me. True to form, no matter how, no wonder her data core is more fragile than most. At the very end, you still managed to be a big one. Long before she was born, when Lantern was still Savor, she had already racked up a debt in Ajita's memory. Hey. Savor, it's good to have you back. What's to be glad about? That I'm empty-handed or that I've got a fresh wound to show for it? I'm happy because you came back through the door this time. At least that's one less window to add to the tab. Please, take a seat. How'd the gadget work out this time? It worked fine, till it split in half. Sorry. No need to apologize. I'm mentally insured for learning to you. It's a pity I couldn't insure it in reality too. Otherwise, the compensation I'm charging this time could have been a bit lower. The collector expertly picked up the ledger and added a few more lines beneath the dense list of items. Why are you still open? What? I mean, why are you still rented? I know I'm not a good client. A loyal client is a good client. A loyal client who cannot pay a tab. That usually gets you blacklisted. How could I do that to you? Then I'd never collect my debt. Have a point. But at this point, for a debt that's on an installment plan for over 1,030 years, are you really confident you can collect it? No merchant's ever 100% confident in a deal. A successful merchant has to gamble. She gambles the Savor will have a bright future and rise to the top of the Lantern organization, so she can eventually collect the returns, both principal and interest. Thank you for the kind words. Oh, you don't seem too thrilled about those kind words.
あんたがその大博打に
Because even
大して
someone
自
like
信を
me
持って
can
ない
tell you
こと
don't
くら
have
い
much
さすが
confidence
に
in
私
this
でもわ
gamble.
かるちゃんと理解してるんだ
I know you're not just
あ
a
んたは
merchant,
商人だけ
but
ど
also a scholar.
学者でもある
Scholars need to gamble
賭
too.
けに出る必要がある
And
のは
how
学者じゃな
far
いじゃん
your research they believe in.
自分が
相変わらずストレートに言うわ
You're
ね
certainly correct, Savor.
何か間違ってた
Am I wrong?
あんたには
You've
い
shown
ろ
me
い
a
ろと
lot
世
of
話になってるか
kindness. I
そ
don't
の
mind
研究
helping
の
you
助
move
けに
your
なれる
research
なら
forward.
いつでも
But
手
I'm
を貸すつもり
genuinely curious. What is it you're researching? Gadgets?
少し気になるんだ
The Lantern Organization? Or
あんたが
その
haven't you
推
guessed
測
it already?
当たり
Take the memory. Please don't kill yourself, Vegeta, for God's sake. Vegeta! Don't go killing yourself! Oh, shut up. Ice right in my drinking area. I've got one of those things on my drink. My 2-liter bottle. It's got like a diffuser. And a piece of ice just came through. I was like, what? Because the ice has already melted. It has been 5 minutes in the ice. I put 12 ice cubes in there and they're already melted. At first glance, the result of the restoration was much worse than it was for Selma. Even with the trace of data corruption erased, the girl still bore numerous scars.
でもその
But
結
this
果こ
proves
そが
that
証明
memories
し
Dr.
てくれ
used
る
to
のよ
restore data life forms are
アジト
genuine,
博士が
pure, and
データ
reliable.
生命
The lantern before he was in her prime, in Dr. Ajita's memory. That is what Savor ultimately became. Looking at her, the Ajita here also recalled the true answer to the past. The one her true self ultimately left unsaid.
アジタにはいろんな
Ajita is
肩書
many
きがあるの
things. She's a merchant,
彼女は
a
商
scholar,
人であり
and above
学者
all,
でもあるけれ
a
ど
collector.
知り合った頃か
From the
ら
moment she met
彼
me,
女はあなたの
she
成
has
長を心
sincerely
から
hoped
願
for
って
your
たわ
growth. Not as a
研
research subject,
究対象と
but
し
as
て
a
じゃなくて
treasure worth keeping in her
彼女の
collection.
目に映す最悪の答
She
え
restored the
を
worst
最も
possible
頑固な
answer
人
in
に
the
預ける
most
ことを選
stubborn
んだのは
person. Was
その
meant to
成
let
長が
this
歳
growth
月によって
develop
研ぎ
a
澄ま
richer
されて
flavor over time.
より私がその選
It wasn't
択の
until a
素
few
晴ら
minutes
しさ
ago
に
that
気
I
づいたのも
realized the beauty of this
ほんの
approach
数
for the
分
first
前だけど
time.
ね
Dr. Ajita, residing inside the system, is one of the fragments left behind by Ajita's soul, the receptor of Ajita's circulating world, and a wisp of consciousness, waiting to be reunited. She understands Ajita's faults better than anyone, yet she's also further from Ajita than anyone.
どうしてデータ生命体
Why
に似
do
た自己
I
認
have
識を持ちながら
self-awareness like a lady
世
in
の
life
喜怒哀
force,
楽
yet
に対してどう
can
して
observe the world's joys and
観測者
sorrows
で
with
いられ
such
るのか
detachment?
こ
I
の問
pondered
題
this
について
question long ago.
ずっと前から
I
考え
once
て
thought
た
it was because I was cold by nature.
生まれつき
I
の
felt sorry
白状
for it.
者なでも実際
But
それよりもっ
even
と前
before
から
that,
す
I
で
already
に自
seen
分の
from
嘘
my
を
own
見破
mind.
っちゃってたのよ
Because Dr. Vegeta is much as a genius as the
こ
original.
のアジタ博士もまた私とセクター
The
の
only
人た
difference
ちとの
between me
唯
and
一
the
の違い
people
は
in the sector
それぞれ
is
の
that we're
壁
all
の
on
両
opposite
側にい
sides
る
of
こ
the
と
wall. That's all.
それだ
By shattering souls and forging them into gadgets, one can thoroughly and meticulously collect all aspects of knowledge and experience in the shortest time possible, leading them closer to whatever they seek. Ajita sold Savor this long ago. Isn't that
私
exactly
が
what I'm
今
doing
やっ
right
てる
now?
のここが小弱が
This
生
is
き
the
返っ
place
た
where
場所
Song
ね
came back from the dead.
まあ
But
今
given
の
its
状
current
況を見る
situation,
にす
she'll
ぐ
soon
に
go
私
back
に
to
帰
being
ること
dead.
になっちゃでも
But
どう
stone
してあの石
tablet?
板に
Why would that be?
いえ
Never
今
mind.
はやめときましょう
Some bugs can only be
後
left for
の人
someone
た
else
ち
to
に
patch
直して
later.
もらうしかないバグもあ
I
る
should
の
get
よ
on with the task at hand.
これはまた
The master and
Najimi
disciple are all too familiar acquaintances of mine.
今思えば
Come to think of it,
7術を作
compared
っ
to
た
Baji,
電気球と比べ
the
ると
founder of the shoes.
アジタの方が
But he
ま
does
だ
seem to
他
have
の
more
人との
points
接
of
点が
contact
多か
with
っ
the
たような
others.
気がする彼女がもし無数の糸なら
If she was a multitude of linking threads, then Baji would just be a brute force that twisted them into a rope. Judging
結
by
果
the
から見れば
results, brute force
万
gets the
力
job
の方
done.
が使い勝手でもみんな
But I suppose everyone
それ
played
ぞ
that
れの
part,
役
right?
割を
Back then, To grasp those elusive threads, the young master spent all preparing for something.
もっとわかりやすく言え
In
ば
other words,
ずっと
he was acting awfully sneaky.
怪し
すまないアジト
My
さん
apologies, Mr. Cheetah.
今何か言
What
っ
did you
たか
just
な
say?
気にしないで
It's nothing.
どこかの病人に
I was
皮肉を
only
言った
trying
だ
to
け
needle
だ
a patient.
その人
The
が
moment someone bends down under a
ちょっと木の
fruit
下
tree,
で
people
かがん
assume
だ
he's
だ
up
け
to
で
no good.
悪巧みをして
Even
る
if
んじゃ
all
な
he
いか
wanted
って
to do was
疑われ
carve.
ちゃうのよ
If that was the case, then the patient should also reflect on himself. Being indisposed does not mean one must be behaved for.
その点について
I know that word.
長く病を患っている私が一番よく
Through
分
it,
かってい
through
る
it have behave irrationally. There you go, close enough. This much I know from my own prolonged illness.
ただ病を
One
患
does
ってい
not
る
look
という
suspicious
だけで
merely on
挙
accident
動
on
不
account
審
of
になるわ
illness.
けがない
Far more likely,
きっと
he
その
does
彼は
something on his
実
conscience.
際に失っ
心に常に抱
Harming
えて
constant
る山
guilt
下
is
も
an element of its
一
own.
種の病
君の言う通りだ
But the ailment often takes
それでも
one must
すでに
bear
病
the
巣を
small
抱えてい
discomfort
る
it
以上
brings.
まあいいわ
Fair enough.
本人が病
Since
人
you're
な
a
ら
patient,
病人
finding
仲間
fellow
を集め
patients
や
is
すいで
certainly
しょ
easier for you.
それ
You
で
asked to see me today.
今日私を呼び出
Which
した
god
の
are you
は
trying to recruit
あ
for
な
your
たの
grand
壮
scheme
大な
this
計
time?
画のため
神仏でも
Not quite a god,
病
no.
人でも
Quite a
ない
patient.
強いて言う
Half
な
and
ら
half at most.
半
ってことは
So,
新人とか
a demigod?
構わないわ
Alright.
知っておいて
Not
損
a
はない
human. I wouldn't mind learning
私の
more.
コレクションル
But
ームが
before you
あな
just
たのお弟子さんの
before
手
you
で空に
disciple
なる前に
cleans
さ
out my little
っさと
warehouse,
腰を据えて本題に
let's
入
sit
り
down
ま
and
しょ
get to the point.
確かに
Indeed. So,
少女
time to get down to business.
そろそろ
What? Huh? Y'all knew I was here too?
師匠たち
うおもてなしもせずに
My
放って
apologies
おい
for
た
the
の
poor
は私の不手際
hospitality
で
of overlooking
でも
you.
正面から
Then
入ってこなか
again,
ったあなた
you
に
didn't
も落ち
come
度
here
があ
for
る
the
から
front door,
ここ
so
はお互い不問
we
に
can
しま
call
し
this
ょう
one even.
そんなのは言い方だよ
A warehouse got a front door or a back door. Or ain't got a
じゃ
front
あ
door or
師
a
匠
back
の後ろか
door.
ら潜りこ
Once I snuck in behind my mask, I mean, I
Hey,
walked right in, fair and square.
ほらうちってあん
Maybe
まり
you
存在
just
感
don't
がな
have
い
as
だろ
much presence.
今の今
So
まで気づかれなかったっ
I
て
don't
の
have
は
as
仕
much
方ないん
presence
じゃない
either.
か
So you introduce me now.
お恥ずかしいところを見
My
せてしまったね
apologies,
ア
Ajita.
ジタさんもし彼
If she
女が何
breaks
かを
anything,
壊
just
して
put
し
it
ま
on
って
my
いたら
tab.
私と取引したい
Bye,
な
Gio.
らも
Bye,
っと
G.
本心を見せてくれない
If you want to do business with me, you'll have to be a bit more
コレ
candid.
クションルームの壁にで
If
きた
your
3
evasive
つの秘
reaction
密
had
通
been so
路
painfully
がお弟子
obvious,
さんの個人
I
的
wouldn't
な
have
副業
asserted
によ
that
るもの
the
かどうか
three secret
確信が持
entrances
て
in
な
the
かったわ
warehouse wall were your apprentice's side hustle.
3つ
Three? There's one she
よかっ
still
た
hasn't found.
これでいつか本当
If
に
push
窮
comes
地
to
に陥
shove,
った時に
I still use that hole to
残っ
get
た
my
穴を
jewelry
頼り
rental
にして
biz
一
back
つ
up
の
and
貸し出
running.
したいこと
ここの器具はどれも高価なものばか
Every
り
single one of
な
those
の
gadgets worth a
お宅
fortune.
の泥棒スズメさんは
Yet your thieving little
なぜか
sparrow
毎
always
回律
returns
儀に
what she
借りたものを
borrows.
返してくれるの
Since she
弟子
clearly,
の尻拭いをす
clearly
る
still
余裕があ
seems
る
to
な
have
ら
what it takes to clean up your
二度と
apprentice's
繰り返さない
messes.
ようにしつけてくれ
Wanna
る
go all the way and make sure she never does it again.
姉さんは優しいね
My good sis, I know I messed up. Please don't let my master break my arms
師
and
匠に
legs.
うちの手
If push comes to shove, I'll run errands for you.
いつから
When?
明日
Tomorrow? No,
今すぐ
right now
は間に合わない
works.
よ
My stuff's stashed in the fourth hall at your place.
アジタさんの言
As
う
Mr.
通り
Cheetah said,
だ
I'm
私は
ill.
自
In my
分の
search
病
for
の
a
薬を
remedy,
求めるあまり
I grew
少し
somewhat
焦って
impatient.
いたようだね
Had I known she was entirely
彼女
opposed
が
to my
所蔵品
collection,
の貸し出しをし
I
に
wouldn't
人
have
でない
resorted
と
to
知ってい
roundabout
た
methods to create an opportunity
周
for
り
you.
くど
うちに
Wait,
機械を
opportunities
作
for
る
me?
そ
So
れ
in
で
the
つま
end,
り
everything I did was made possible by Master?
お膳立てだからあの
I was
壁
wondering why the woman
手を
seriously
加え
had
る
a
の
few
にうって
convenient
つけだっ
debts
たん
for
だね
applying force.
使わずにいられる妙なへこみがあって
Turns out,
師匠
Master
的
cased the
が
joint for me ahead of
うちのため
time.
にしたならもっと早く教えてくれ
You
たら
should
よ
give me
か
a
った
heads
の
up
に
earlier, Master.
そうすれば
This way the Bai family might have
増え
picked
てた
up
か
another
もしれないんだよ
business.
そんなことはどうだっていい うち
The
は
point
い
is,
つ
when and how did I end up
二人の小競り合い
with
に巻き
peace
込
in
ま
your
れ
little
たんだ
contest?
だから最初に言ったじゃな
I
い
told you from the start,
怪し
didn't
さ
I?
が半端なかった
Fully
って
sneaky. Well, That doesn't seem good.
予想以上に消耗してたみたい
Damage is a lot worse than expected.
7術を集めた当初
When you
あ
first
なたは
gathered the
私
seven
たちに共通
shoes,
点があるって言ってたわよね
you said we have something
当
in
時は
common.
気にしてなかったけど
I never took that
今日やっと
seriously,
実
but
感できたわ
today you proved it true.
みんな
Now that
体
we've all
に
had
穴
holes
を
punched
開け
through
られちゃっ
us,
たんだもの
I can say we have something in
確か
common.
に今日でもこんな
And
共通
honestly,
点
I
ない
can't
方がいい
do
わよ
having
ね
this.
せっかくこの世
Being
界を
resurrected
蘇
in
っ
this
たの
sector
に
is rare enough.
このまま壊さ
But
れ
letting
ちゃ
you
う
get
なんて
destroyed would be a terrible
もったい
waste.
ないここで輪廻を繰り返す
Compared
あ
to
な
the
たたちと
cycles
比
you've
べ
all
た
gone
ら
through here,
同じ7術
Vegeta,
の一人であるアジタ
one
は
of the seven shoes,
確かにあんまり貢献
hasn't
できてなか
contributed
った
that
わね
much.
結局も
Ultimately,
ともと彼女が目
she
指
never
してる場所
really was on the same
あ
path
な
as
た
you
たちとは
people.
違ってたのよ
As for me,
私だって
now the
さ
wall's down, I'm merely
壁
taking
が壊
opportunities
さ
to
れたのを
satisfy
いい
my
こと
desire
に
to experience.
自分のそうだったわ
Right.
そ
This is
れが
what
気
gadgets
分の
really
本
mean.
来の意味よね厚く積もりし器をな
Build
し
upon a solid foundation,
物皆それと共に
each to
移
its
る
culmination.
私が終点にたど
Now,
り着くた
I
め
need
の
you all
助
to
けにな
walk
っ
to
て
the
も
end
らう
for
んだ
me.
から
So,
あなたたち
hold
は
out
し
for
っ
me.
かり持ちこ存分に使わせてもらう
I
わ
will have you at my disposal
最後の
until the
最
final
後まで
moments. She's gonna bring them back. She's gonna bring them all
現
back!
実と夢の狭間へと続く
Looks like
分
the
流が
path
よ
to
う
liminal
や
space
く安
between
定した
reality
み
and
たいね
dreams has finally stabilized.
あとは流れ
From
に
here
逆
on,
らって
I just
進
need
め
to head against the stream,
旅の
and
終
I'll
点
reach
に
the
たどり着
destination
く
in no time.
そうね
Hmm.
ただ
But
もっと曖
I
昧な
figured I'd end
姿
up
にな
more
る
of a
かと思って
blur,
たけ
but
ど
since I can hold
ま
a
だ生地の
gadget
形
form,
を保てて
things are looking better than expected.
なる
It's a trap. It's a trap. Oh my god. She's gadget again. Oh no.
こんなに痩せたら
I'm not used to it
狭間
yet,
に
but
潜り込む
slim
方が
down
簡単
should
さ
make squeezing into the liminal space a lot easier.
やっと着いたわ
I'm finally
意外と
here.
普通ね
Looks rather ordinary. Giving their all to pursue a goal, only to interest the instant they reach it. This seems to be a common flaw among scientists, because the moment they reach one destination, they always see the stars that are further away.
でも
But
今
this
は
is no
星
time for
空を見上げ
stargazing.
てる場合じゃ
I
ない
better help the Earthlings out
ま
first.
ずやっぱりダメみたい
Doesn't work? Ajita couldn't call along the control interface. Not because she had no hands to use, of course.
セクター内で予想以上に消
Wear
耗
and
してしま
tear
った
inside the
せいか
sector is worse than expected,
ま
though.
あ予想以上に
Worse
な
than
るってこと
expected
は
is what I expected
セ
when
レ
I
ナ
was
を
patching
修
up
復した時
Selma.
点で
Even self-proclaimed omnipotent Dr. Ajita had to admit she had bitten off more than she could chew.
操作画面にアクセスす
Accessing
る
the
にしても
interface takes
処
computing
理能
power,
力
so
が必要だし
so does
システ
repairing
ム
the
の修
system.
復だって同じ
Well, the amount of power
以
was
前の
nothing to the
私だ
old
ったら
mate. Right now,
その程度の操作は
Retaining the
痛くも
form is
痒
already
くも
hard
ない
enough.
けどこれ以上消
if
耗
I
したら
spare any more processing power, well,
下手したら死
I
んじゃ
might
いそう
actually
ね
die. Even an esteemed back-end maintainer was, this very moment, nothing more than a ball floating in the system. A defenseless ball. A ball with no backup. A ball that, the moment Layla's defense system spots it, we get kicked around like a, well, a ball.
この結果を予想してなか
Did
った
I
の
not
か
anticipate this outcome? Of
ま
course
さ
I
か
did.
私はちゃんと
According
正
to my
確に計
meticulous
算して
calculations,
7
the
術の
computing
デー
power
タ
I
の
brought
全
to the
修復
system
と
was at least
地
enough to
球人
repair all
か
the
ら依頼
corrupted
され
data
た
on
お
the
使
seven
いに
shoes
十
and
分
complete
足
the
りる処
Earthlings'
理能
repair
力を持ち
request.
込んだのよ
Okay.
でもそうね
Maybe I didn't factor in the
自
amount
分
needed
の
to keep
活動
myself
量を
alive.
計算
It was like meticulously calculating the maximum weight of supplies you would carry on a crashing plane, only to jump out and realize you forgot a parachute. But can you blame her? She must have had a reason for not packing it. Right?
なんだか
For
頭
a
の
while,
中から
felt like this
私を
voice
嘲
in my
笑
head
う
mocking
声が
me.
それはともかくと
Now
し
it's come
て
to this.
自分の事
I
情
won't
を
let
優先
personal
して
matters get in the
仕
way.
事をこなせない
We
な
failed
ん
the
て事態
mission.
は避けたいわね
The least I can do is see it
Semi.
through. Just before she entered the system, Celia's gaze flashed across her mind.
最悪のことがあったと
Worst
して
case, I
も
die.
死ぬだけで済むわ
Oh.
ええ想定
Seems
の
about
範囲
right.
ただ
But
落成
as
で
Dr.
一番
Vegeta,
優秀な
let's
仕
talk
事
to
人
Miss
を
Aaron
名乗る
Runner.
アジタ博士と
I'll
して
minimize the risk of failure,
失
so
敗のリスク
it's
は
time
なく
for
親友の羽の
my
出番
best friend's Feather to make its entrance. This was a trump card passed to Dr. Vegeta's hands by Corona.
最近親友の行方を探る
To track down my best friend,
私は
I've
毎
extended my
日
daily
勤務時
working
間を
hours by a
8分
full
の3倍延
3/8
長してるのよ
recently. The conclusion I've reached so far is the feather is a backdoor to some kind of authority figure left behind. It's likely a key, or rather a password, capable of unlocking a power closely tied to her under specific conditions. But what that power is remains unclear. To figure that out faster, I'm willing to extend my workouts by another 8, consider it my way of honoring a friend. Dr. Geely had evidently made full use of this 4/8 to overtime. She had already knew what to do with the secret key in her hands. That wasn't exactly surefire or foolproof plan, but at least someone was voluntary on taking on half the risk. If it's gonna blow up anyway, better blow up, my dear friend. I know you wouldn't be mad at me. But after all, a ball can't crush a feather, and a feather can't blow away a bomb. You get a try. She floated towards the calculating coordinates. I'll pick this side. He's hoping I catch a big fish. The feather dissolved into the space. Just like that. Ripples spread through the liminal space. What? Layla left a safeguard here too? Fair enough. Hi, Vita! There's her cannons. Fair enough, it's a bit too calm for last words, don't you think? I really can't bear to watch any longer, my dear friend. Done? It's not every day that V makes a comeback. And the only enemies was fish? Isn't that a bit of a letdown? Don't worry. I prepared bigger ones for you. All still to come, my dear friend. I see. So thoughtful of you. But next time, think about yourself too, okay? How I come out a tiny bit later, the great Dr. Gina would become a snack for the little fish. Do you really trust your calculations that much? It's not myself I trust, but you, my dear friend. I knew the feather I left. I left behind the dry fishing bird. Let's come back to life. Like lightning to pull me out of the fire. I should have handed Crone a fake feather back then. Or I should have had You wouldn't do that, my friend. You need her to help you break free from Layla's control. And you know she won't let you down. Of course I know Crone will make the right choices. That's why she chose to pass the feather on to me. Not to brag, but I pulled my weight back there. Yeah. It's a good thing the adorable Layla didn't poke my eye out. So I could take in the full extent of your dedication. I especially love the part where your body was being chipped away. Do you have any thoughts on this, my friend? But let me put it this way, in your current state, you're more deserving of the title of Sure Gadget than your real self is. If you mean the part where I turned myself into a gadget, yeah. Absolutely. To put your words, my friend, there's no need to be so guarded. I'm praising you and caring for you from the bottom of my heart. Then, thank you for your concern, my friend. You don't believe me? I'm more than happy to accept your goodwill. Goodwill? I just held a deep grudge against those who casually toss aside their creation and run off to live it up. Thanks to the vote of confidence. But just so you know, my friend, there's a risk that I might recover. Oh. I used to have no particular feelings, good or bad, for digital life forms as long as forms of existence. But now I have to admit, it's awfully convenient. As long as the system's intact, I can go back to life. Looks like someone's considered the risk a strike from the very beginning. Yeah, sadly, I have to get back to work. I just need to head back, catch myself up. Literally. Catch up where? Back home. Oh, so you have a home? I suppose everyone has a home.
ごめんなさい、親友。
Sorry, my friend. I haven't been saying
Imano.
Caroline.
まだ何も言ってい
I
ないの
haven't
に
said a thing.
随分と動
You're already
揺
acting
しているみたい
guilty.
だね。
Just how much did you dig up
僕を
on
調
me?
査した時
あなたのスペースハッカ
I
ーと
admit
し
your
ての腕
skills
前
as
は
the
本
cosmic
当に見
hacker
事
are
だったわ。
impressive.
い
I
くら
couldn't
調
find
べ
even
て
a
も
single
家
relative
族
or
や
friend of
友
yours.
人、故
Or any
郷に
information
関
of
す
your
る情
home
報
life.
は何一つ見
As
つから
if
なかっ
they
た。
never existed at all.
まるで
それは申し訳ない
Well,
な。
my
何
apologies.
せ今の僕は
I know my way
もう
around your
君の
system
シス
right
テム
now,
を熟
and I
知して
can
いるん
even
だ。
guess what sector you're
君の
focusing.
優位、
その推測は十中
You're
八九
probably
外れ
guessing
よ。
wrong. My home is
私
in
の
a
家は
typical residence.
一般。
そうだね。もし
Maybe
それが
that's
乱雑に積まれた
your
デー
white
タのログ
space
と
piled
長
high
々
because
と
you
した
data
リクエ
logged
スト
in
リ
your
ストが
task
散らばってい
lines.
るマシ。
ビタさん、
Miss
私の
Vida,
ことをそ
you
こまで
really
理解
understand
して
me
くれ
better
て
than
る
I
とは思っ
thought.
てなかったわ。
Perhaps
もう親友っていう単語じゃ
dear
私の評
friend
価
is
を
no
十
longer
分に
captures
表せ
how
ない
highly
か
I
もしれない。
regard you.
これか
How
ら
about I
は
start calling you sister
姉
from
妹と
now
呼ん
on?
でもいい。
遠慮しておくよ。
Yeah,
これ以上はいら
no
ない。
thanks. I really don't want any more sisters.
あら、どうして？
How come?
疲れるからさ。
Because they're a
いろん
handful
な
in
意味で
every
ね。
possible way.
それに、も
Besides,
し君の母
if we
親が
really
本
felt
当に
shared
僕
the
と同
same
じだ
mother,
ったら、
I feel
さすが
sorry
にか
for
わ
you.
いそうだ。
あなた、私の家を
I
言い
thought
当
you
て
would
た時
express
の
your
気の毒
sympathies
って
over my
顔を
home.
してた気が。
気のせいじゃないよ。
That isn't wrong.
私のことなら
There's no
心
need to
配いらな
worry
い
too
わ。
much about me,
親
my
友。
friend. I already feel very
もうあの家
comfortable
に
and
は
free in my home.
十分な快適さと自由を
Besides,
見出してるの。
if I don't go
それに
out, it's safe
早
and
くそ
freedom
の自
soon.
由を味わわないと
I really might curl
本
up into
当
a
に
ball.
縮んで私の行動を一部始終見
Since
て
you're
たの
all,
なら
since you've
天
always
命
been
の
able to
計画に
see
つい
my
ても
every
把握
move,
してるのよね。
I'm sure you know Shitchell's plan inside now.
地球人の手伝いをして、
Isn't it
レイラが
just
仕
to
掛
help
け
the
た
Earthlings
夢
bring
追い
Layla's
人シス
lockdown
テムの
on
ロ
the
ックを
Gypsy
解除する
system?
んだ。偶然にも、
V,
ここには実力もやる気も
fresh
十
out of
分で、
prison cell,
脱獄したば
has
か
the
りで人を
required
持て余
expertise
し
and
た
is
部
highly
がいるん
motivated.
だ。
And as if
So
luck
then-
would have it,
借りを
I
返した
also
い
have
の
a
は
squad
僕
instead
も
of
同
the
じ
same
さ。
person.
無事を祈るわ。
Take care, my
親友。
friend. Just as she was about to drift away, Adita remembered something before they returned to Vita's side.
親友の仕事の
Well,
腕
I
は
have
信
complete
頼し
faith
て
in
る
your
けど、
abilities.
その
Never
効
hurts
率
to
を
boost
上
our
げられる
efficiency
手
a
段が
little.
あるなら
Some intel, I
使わ
think.
ない手はないわ
Best
ね。
shared sooner rather than
共
later.
有。例えば、
For example,
この絵について
does this painting
見覚え
ring
はない
bells
か
for
し
you
ら。
now?
これは
Oh,
また、
this really is
とん
some
でもない情報を出された
outstanding
ね。
intel. I remember that. I remember that. Bury the light deep within.
前回セクターに入ったのは
The
確
last time I
か
set foot in a sector was. Never mind.
どうでもいい
That's
か。
not
懲
important.
りないお嬢さんが
First,
今度は
let's
ど
see
ん
how
な
much trouble
厄
a
介事を
certain
作った
girl
の
who
か
never
確
learns
か
her
めてみ
lesson
よ
has
う。
gotten me into this time.
おや
Oh, really?
なるほど。泣いて抱き
It's
し
like
め
a
合って
romantic
再会を
cliche
喜
where
ぶ
one person says, I
みたいな場
found
面
you,
と
and
僕
the
は
other
無
typically
縁なん
embrace
だ
them
ね。
isn't going to happen.
で
The
も
fact you're here is
あ
enough
な
to
た
lift
が
my
ここにいてくれ
spirits.
てよかった。
She didn't need to display her overt sincerity when asking the woman, who turned at the sound of her voice, about what she had loved most and hated most in the time she had lived so far. Because her answers will echo, word for word, what she will exclaim a heartbeat later.
運命の導き
Is it destiny?
かな。
Regardless, the moment their eyes met, the memory once blurred by the cocoon completed its revelation-like metamorphosis, settling once more between their brows. To the distant past, the details of the conversation were forbidden beyond its own dimension. But in the present, where the future had unexpectedly arrived, was a mere common instance of fulfillment. In the other's half-smiling eyes, she failed to find that hidden, desperate yearning. Taking its place was a weightless elation that sprang from the soul before radiating out to the world.
あなた。
You aren't her.
さて、こ
So
こで
here's the
問題を
question.
出そう。彼女と全
What
く
does
同
it
じ見
mean
た
when
目
someone
で
who
同
isn't
じビ
female
タ
but
の
looks
名を持
exactly
ちながら
like
も
her
彼
can be
女じゃ
addressed
ない
as
人
such?
物がここを
Come
訪
to
れ
visit
た。
this place.
ごめん。
Sorry.
ったばかりなのに
I can't answer that on
そ
behalf
ん
of
な質
someone I
問
just
には
met.
答えられないよ
It'd be disrespectful to both you
あ
and
なたに
her.
我は神のために
I was born because of the god,
神は我
and
の
the
ため
god
に
died
死
because of me.
僕は
I
自
represent
由
a
を求
god
める
who
道
fell
に
the
で
path
倒
to
れた
freedom.
神の一
A
柱
freedom just beyond
手の
reach.
届かない
あなた
You,
じゃ
then,
ああの
that
方
wager
は
is...
もうそんな痛ましそうな顔をしないで
Don't look so heartbroken.
彼女自身は
She
溢
actually
れんば
closed
か
her
りの
eyes
期
full
待を
of
胸にしながら
anticipation.
まぶ
期待
Anticipation?
例えば彼女の
Such
命を
as
奪った分身
expecting the clone
助
assistant
手代理
Proxy or
あるいは
whatever that
何
took
も
her
もの
life
ない存在が
to end up a
どんな
corpse
醜い
just like
姿
her
を
in some
晒して
hideous form.
まあとにかく
Anyway,
彼女
Miss
の代理
Senna,
として昔
before I
話を
catch
知る
up to you
前
in
に
her stead,
まずは失敗に終わった感
let's
化の
start
後に
what
何
happened
が
after
起
you
きたの
failed
か
to
教え
attempt
てもらえる
persuasion.
あいにくそ
Unfortunately,
この情報だけ
It
丸
was the
ご
one
と
piece
抜
of
けているん
intel I
だ
didn't have time to gather.
情報共有の後は
And then
反
we can
撃の
discuss our
話をしよう
counterattack.
彼女を
Just
手
as she
塩にかけて
mercilessly
育てた
trampled
ものと
me
して
and pulled me
最
through
も
this.
厳し
And
い
then,
罰を与えてやるんだ
well, we'll let the
彼女
very
が
person
僕を
who
容赦なく
raised
踏
her
みつけて
raised
あん
her
なことや
deliver the
こん
harshest
なこと
punishment.
をした
You know,
分かっていると思
I
う
don't
けど
want to let
君
light
が
to
あの
merely
光
be
で
a
助
tool
けを呼
used
ん
to
だの
summon
は
backup.
無意味な説
Just
得
so
を
you can
続
see
ける
using
ため
your
だなんて言
pointless
わせ
talk
ない
therapy
よ
with Layla.
それと彼女が君
Similarly,
にひどいこと
I
を
don't
す
want
る
you
のを
harboring
た
any
めらっ
foolish
たからといって
expectations that it's too
ま
kind
だ
of
会話で
therapy.
解決できる
Talk
んじゃな
therapy
い
will
か
succeed.
なんて
Just
愚か
because
な
the
期待
Layla
も
didn't
し
have the
ない
heart
よ
to
う
do
に
anything too awful to you. In a way, her fondness of using words to prod people's weaknesses is exactly like Vita's. If anything, her words are even sharper. Unfortunately, the blade of her words failed to leave a single scratch on the listener.
奇遇だね
What a coincidence!
私
I
も
was
ち
just
ょうど
about to fill you in on
あな
things
た
that
が
you
知ら
don't
ない
know,
情
Miss
報
Vita.
を実はね
Actually,
ちょっと前まであな
not
たの
long
に
ago,
ひどいこと
I
を
was
されてた
enjoying
の
the awful things you mentioned.
あの子が
It
支
was a
配する
stroke
と
of
ホーム
luck
か
that I
ら
managed
脱
to
出で
escape
き
the
たのは
respective dream controlled
運
by
が
that
良かっ
child.
たとしか
は
Oh,
ああいつとうとう君の前で言い
Huh?
こぶることすら
is
や
little
めたのかい
Leia not even playing nice with you anymore?
あの子が誰より
She knows
私
me
を理
better
解
than
してる
anyone,
ように
and I know her better than
私
anyone.
も誰よりあ
In
の
her
子を
mind,
理解
there's
して
no
る
turning back from sacrifice.
あの子にとっ
Since
て
pretenses
イ
can't
ケ
bridge
メ
our
ンは譲れない
differences,
ことみたい
why not bother trading blows
ず
from
っと
behind a
平
veil?
行線の
夢追い人と
Only the
落
dream
選
seeker and Lu
そ
Shuang can
の
have
ど
the
ちらか
future.
の未来しかセナディア
Sanadia,
彼女はどう選んでほしいと思う
she would want you to embrace her with a smile. To embrace the self she sacrificed for you and Lu Shuang.
あの子が私と夢追い人
She
を
dragged
不幸
Crone
に
and
巻
me
き込
into
ん
the
だのは
respective dream,
儀式を
just
確
to
実に
ensure
成
the
功させるた
sacrifice
め
would succeed,
私は
forcing me to
生
resurrect
きた
the
屍
borrowed
みた
body.
いな形で
So
蘇
I
らせ
would
て
once again lift the world she laid down, become the god of Lu
も
Shuang.
う一度会話で解決するって
As
いう
for words, even back on my home planet, I already knew everything they could and
母
couldn't
性
do.
ですもし今
Right now,
ビタさんに
my only
何か
hope
お
is
願
that
い
you,
したい
Miss
ことが
Vita,
あ
can
ると
help
す
me
れば
free Crone from the bottomless
あの底
respective
なしの
dream.
底
君も見たように今あの箱は彼女の影に
As you
覆
can
い尽くされ
see,
ている
there's nothing I can do
こんな
against a
状態
box
じゃ
that's
僕
tightly
にも
sealed
打
in
つ手
the
がないん
shadow.
だ
Unless
もしそ
someone
れ
else
を
can
何
do
とかできる
something.
人がいた
溺れちゃった人にで
Drowning
きるこ
person
とは
can't
限
do
られ
much,
てる
but
けど
luckily, she comes ashore.
その岸に上がったっていう人が
Even if
僕
the
の前で
rock
弱みを
comes
見せたく
ashore
ない
as
の
someone
に
who refuses to
話す
show
ことすら
weakness
ま
in
まな
front
ら
of
ない
me.
ような状態にな
So
ってい
hoping
た
I'm
として
speak.
も
ビタさん
Miss Vita,
あなたの
what do you
視点
think
で見たら
brought Layla and me together in the first
最初
place?
に
Ugh, give me a break.
勘
I
弁
haven't
して
said
くれ
anything
な
like
い
that in years.
そんな
違うよ
I'm just saying that
その
thanks
つ
to
な
that
がりのお
bond,
かげで
even
この
I
状態
can
の
open
私
a
で
new
も
doorway to the
影の
shadow
表面に
surface.
ビタさ
When
ん
the
が
feet
細
of
工
work,
でき
babe.
る
一応聞いておくよ
Just a friendly heads
今
up.
回セナさんは
If
僕
you're
に
willing
チ
to
ャンスを
open
作っ
for
てくれ
me,
るだ
be
ろ
mentally prepared.
でも
I won't just
僕は
stop at
夢
helping
追い
Chrono
人を助
escape.
けただって
Because holding a
味は必ず
grudge
返
is
す
the
で
most
しょ
insignificant
そ
of
れ
my
が
noble
僕にとって
virtues.
大丈夫
Okay,
好きな
don't worry.
好きな
Just go for it. right.
て
You
そ
said
の
it
言葉
yourself, Miss
覚えて
Senna.
おくよ
I really just want to get to the halfway point of this stream. I am so suffering in this heat. I might do half today and half in another day because it's just too. I hope that's okay. We'll see how things go. Following the fractures Senadina created, the Eye of Bodhi's field of vision kept expanding, while dynamically distancing itself from the turbulence of the retrospective dream. She was looking for an opportunity to intervene personally, unleash hell on Layla. That way, Frona would also slip free of danger in the moment the god was imperiled. She couldn't expand her field of vision infinitely inside the system, but she needed to confirm what was worth a closer look at what wasn't, one by one. Those who didn't know better might call this inefficient. She couldn't be bothered to justify her rudeness. Everything came at a price, and helping herself along the way actually saved troubles down the line. Besides, it wasn't hard to fill her heart with endlessly curious and forever chasing the novel. As long as freedom was promised, she would always find a way.
セナさんと夢追い人をソコーム
Trapping
の
the
中
Sen
に
and
閉じ込
Crony
め
in
て
a respective
神
dream,
の意志に屈するまで過去を
forcing them
繰り
to
返
relive
し
the
体
past
験
over
さ
and
せる
over until they bow to the god's will.
それがレイラの
That's
計画
Layla's plan. Wow, what a plan, huh? That's indeed a thing.
でも残念だね
Too bad.
その一
The
番の
one
お
she
気
cares
に入
about
りは
most
とっ
has
く
already
に逃げ出
escaped,
しているし
and the one she
一番
hates
憎い
can
相
most
手も
certainly
こ
hold
の
on
お姉
until I
さんが
swoop in to
助けに
save
行
the
くまで
day.
耐えられないただどんなにリアルな映画も
It's just
所詮は他人の物
even
語
a movie where you play
た
stuff
だ
for
の
someone
役者である
else's
は
story,
ず
so
の君にそ
how
こ
can
まで
you,
没入してし
the
まう理由
actor,
があると
lose
すれ
yourself
ば
in it completely? As if
もしかしてこれは
this
夢追
is
い
the
人
Dream
の
Seeker's
過去だと
past?
でも言うのか
We're
な
entropy? We were entropy all along? We were entropy. Ah. We've been here the whole time.
いかにもいい子ちゃん
Such a
って
sweet
感じの見た目なのに
face.
どうしていつも
Yet
こ
always
そこ
up
そ
to
悪巧みしているんだろう
something
ねまあいい
Oh,
続きを見てみよ
I'll
う
keep watching.
僕がここに来るま
The
でに
only way to
君と
learn
優しい
you
セ
and
ナ
Miss
さん
Senna
が
went
一体
through
何をして
before
い
I
たの
got
か見
here.
ておかないと
It hurts. The moment she opened her eyes, she felt pain, akin to having her limbs violently contorted. Fatigue, burnout, overload, and an endless road separating her soul from her physical shell. This was her current state. Although this was most likely a side effect of sleeping in one position for too long, it was enough to leave her in a trance for a few seconds.
ぐっすり寝てたせいか
Because I
な
was sleeping so soundly, I unknowingly slipped into the first dream
無双の
housed by
箱
the
の最初
incalculable
の夢に
box.
溶け込んで
Took it
そ
for
れが現
reality
実
and
だって
had a
思っちゃってたみ
relatively
たい
relaxing day.
前にこうなったの
Last time this happened was when the
最
first
初の
dream
夢が
was just
出来上が
built.
った頃だったね
After that, since I had to regularly
その後は
maintain and enrich
メ
the
ンテ
dream,
ナンスや夢の
I never
活用
truly
に追わ
settled
れて
into it and lived with
寝ても
everyone,
覚めても
whether
本
awake
当
or
にそ
asleep.
こにずっと張り詰めてると
I'd been so
気
wound
が
up
緩ん
for
だ
so
時に
long.
ついつい浸っちゃうんだよね
It's hard not to save the slack.
ナナに会ってなかっ
If
た
I
ら
hadn't seen
あ
Nara,
とどれだけ時間を
there's
無
no
駄に
telling
して
how
たか
much time I would have wasted. Her words were full of guilt. But should she really be reflecting on being exhausted enough to sleep right on the ground?
でもどうして
But
エントロピーも
why is
最
entropy
初
in
の
the
夢
first
にいた
dream
の
as
かな
well, and
しかも
in that
あ
form?
んなす
The little white creature didn't leap eagerly into her arms the way it had in the dream. The only response was a steady hum of the life monitor. Nara remained in slumber, no signs of abnormalities.
ナナは深く眠ってるから
Nana's consciousness is
最初の夢には
can't
入れ
enter
ない
the first dream.
だから
So the Nana in
夢
dream
の
must be
中
an
のナナは
impurity that invaded
教
the
会
dream
から
from the
侵入した
boundary.
不純気を引き締めなきゃ
Hold yourselves together.
まずは
I'll
残
wrap
り
up
の
the rest of the
周りを
routine
汚れさ
patrol
せて
first,
無惨な
then
箱に
hinder
入っ
into the
て
incalculable
不純
box
物
to
を
clear out the
掃除しよう
impurities. Once all this is done, I can finally
またトレイター2号から出られる
leave the Rebel 2.
それに夢の中な
The
んだから
toast.
怖い顔をしないで笑って
No anomalies. Energy has been increased.
不純物のせいか
Vince,
最初の夢との
Nothing
共鳴率が低いみたい
a little destabled, but
あとはお願いね
Jen is doing fine.
一落青年リードしただ
At
けじゃ
least stable. No
先輩
nice.
の先輩にはな
Life
れ
support
ないね
modules operational limit in 17 hours.
姫様お願い
Your
です
Highness,
から
I beg you. So she'll be woken up in 17
ま
hours.
た
It's
恐怖
another
のせいで
a
緊迫を見
hallucination
てる
born of fear.
大丈夫だよ
It's okay.
ト
At
レイ
least
タ
it
ー
won't
2号の
manifest as a
中なら
monster inside the Rebel
それ
2.
が
Are you
お願い
sure
し
behind
ま
you?
す
Okay.
一日だけで
Just
も
one
いい
more
から
day. Let me stay
君は
asleep.
続け
エルシー先輩も
Elise.
自
Do you
分がもう
realize
す
you're about to
ぐ目
wake
を
up
覚ま
too?
しちゃうって
The hallucination did not respond to her words, but simply kept repeating, please. Of them, the fears of the original.
怖くないよ
Don't be
エ
scared,
ルシー
Elise.
先輩
Don't
何
be
も
scared.
怖くないから
As long as you don't leave the Rebel 2, you'll be safe.
トレイ私が保証す
I
る
promise you. No matter what
何が
happens, you'll have
起きよう
sweet
と
dreams wherever you
あ
sit.
なたがあの時みたいに
Just like back then.
よかった姫様なら入っていいってエルシーがうなずいたよ
Great. At least let the princess in.
私に任せて
Leave it to me. She had said these words on many occasions. It was not a magic spell that could solve every problem, but simply the costly lie. It spared the speaker from overwhelming guilt, deceiving her just enough to always have the courage. To pretend to be a magician who can soothe
エル
hearts.
シー先輩
Elise,
先
I
輩
made a
なの
soothing
に
hot drink just the way you'd like it. Wanna try it while it's
温
hot?
かい飲み物を作ってきたな
The haggard
冷
woman
めないうち
lifted
に
her head.
飲まない
Only then did she notice the strange markings covering her arms.
お
Oh,
隠して
I
おく
forgot
の
to
を
hide it.
忘れていました
Most of the liquid in the cup splashed as she flinched. But she stifled a cry of pain, afraid of giving offense a second time.
姫様も
Your
随
Highness,
分と
you've picked up a
傷
few more
跡が
scars
増え
too.
てしまいこの者たちは
Tell me,
ど
how
の
much
くらい
longer
で
until
ま
they
た
come
生き返
alive?
るのです清潔な皮膚を土にし
Using pure
昼
skin
間の
as
呼吸に沿
soil,
ってうごめ
they wind along the
夜に
breath
なれば
day and
ど
dwell
ち
in
ら
an
かの
eyeball
眼球
every
に住み
night,
着き
secretly draining its
まさか
crystalline fluid.
中の養分をすすりつ
When the
ぶ
next
す
day arrives, they unfold their
そして
tendrils
翌
from a
日
shriveled
には
hollow.
そうして繰り返していく止まらず休まずでもあの時こ
But
れが生え
back
た
then,
皮膚
I
を
gouged
残
out
らず
every
え
inch
ぐ
of
り
skin
取
it
ったは
grew
ずな
on.
のですが
I know I did. Elise held her hand tightly at the swelling. Its heat yet to fade, ate even more under the other's fiery gaze.
まさか
Must
こ
I
の者の
really
養分
sacrifice
と
all
な
the
る
light in my
手
eyes
にし
to
た
make it
全て
grow?
の輝きを
Just to
えぐり出さ
earn
な
a
ければ
moment of peaceful
一
sleep?
瞬の休
She squeezed Elise's hand in return, trying to soothe her through the painful murmur in her sleep. But she still felt very, very far from Elise. Because back when they were students, they had been so close. Before the two of them gave in to sleep, lying down on the soft bed and slowly closing their eyes beneath the warm-coloured ceiling, ready to drift to the peaceful stream.
エルシー先輩でも
So, you're also afraid of those little brown bugs that suddenly fly towards you. If it wasn't for our late night dawn chat, I would have never known.
私
There are plenty of
かな
things
り
I'm
の
afraid
怖が
of.
りなんですよ
So, what
それで
kind of story
こ
would
ん
you
な
like to
私を
spin
モ
for
デル
someone
に
like
して
me?
こういうのはどう
Let's say one day
ある日
you ran into a crisis.
Curtsy
It's not too
先輩は
big or too small.
大きくも小さくも
Not
ない
too big or too
です
small.
か
大きくないのは
Not too big because you're
先
super
輩が秘密
analytical.
だからだよ
You're like, got superb combat skills
ど
on
んな
top
困
of
難
you.
も
Wash away all the
解決
obstacles.
して小さくないのは
Not too small because you happen to be leading a
チ
team
ー
out on a
ムの
mission.
みんなを連れ
If
て
the
外
mission
出した
fails,
時
the
に
losses
食
would
わ
be
したからだな
unimaginable.
おやいきなり随分
Wow,
な
why are you
プレ
putting
ッシャ
so
ーを
much
与え
stress
て
on
く
me
れ
from
ま
the
したね
start?
先輩とにかく
Don't
危
worry.
機一髪って時に
Anyway,
先輩の体の中か
in the
ら
nick of
謎の
time,
力
mysterious
が
power
湧
will
き上がっ
surge
てく
from
る
within
な
your body, and it'll let you do whatever you want, even create high-tech weapons that scientists haven't
まだ
invented yet.
それは
even the godly power was a temporary secret technique gifted by an elderly white-haired
そ
man.
のおかげで
And it still got
先
you
輩は
back
無事
to
に
the
星
spaceship.
船に戻れるんだ
Safe
よ。
and sound.
戻った先輩は
You're hurried to the
真っ
storage room.
先に物
Grab
置
the
部屋に
coolest
飛び
soda.
込んで
Gulp it down
一
and
番
tell
冷たい
companions who
炭
come
酸水を
running
取
how
り出して
dangerous the
一気
mission
に飲み
was.
干すな。
What a wild
そ
adventure
して
you had.
その時こんな
And
風
you
に
leave
心
inside.
するかも
Say
ね。
that maybe you're in a
私
story
は今
written purely for your
自
safe
分が無
return.
事に帰るため
And
に
you
手を
finally
作ら
saw
れ
Her
た物語の
Highness's
中
talent
に
at
て
daydreaming firsthand.
姫そうしたらお眠気に耐えきれずに柔らか
Before
い
you
ベ
gave
ッ
in to
ドの
sleep,
上に横たわ
lying
った
down on the
先
soft
輩
bed
は
until closing your eyes beneath
暖
the
色
warm
の
ceiling,
天井を見上げなが
ready
ら
to drift to a
ゆっ
peaceful
くり
dream.
と目を閉じ穏やか
At
な
the
夢
end of the
を
night,
見ようとした前に
Lily
ね
smiled, and she, half asleep, saw the magical colours swirling in her hand.
いまだにこの
To
力
this
の
day,
本
I
質
still
が
don't understand the nature of
どう
this
して
power,
私た
or
ち
why
こ
I'm
れ
the
を
only
利用
one
し
who
て
can use it to
他
enter
人の
others'
夢に干
dreams.
渉できるのかわからないまま無産の箱が
My
示
father
した
said
未来
that
で
in
は
the future revealed by the
中田の力
incalculable
離れ
box,
れば離れ
the
るほど
further the people of
その
Lang
民に
travelled
宿っ
from
た
the land, the
普及
weaker
の
the
力
power
は
of
弱ま
permanence
るだろうっ
manifests
て
in them.
普及の力
So
が
why
消
did
え
the power
去
of
る前
permanence
に
undergo some kind of change
何
before
らかの異
waiting?
変が
Waning. In the reflection on the walls of the hibernating pods, she gazed at radiance in her own eyes.
だとしたらこの異変は
And why would this
どうしてこんな
anomaly
おか
first
しな
manifest in
形
such
で
a strange way with
こ
the
れ
day
ら
the
2
Rebel
号が
2 breached
太陽
the
系に
solar
突入
system?
したこの力は一
Just
体
what do you stand for? Whichever the guess, rested on the same foundation. Because you're luckier.
エルシー先輩
Bye.
またね
And for now, those watching on YouTube, I'm afraid this is goodbye for today. I will see you in the next episode. Those on Twitch, stick around. I think we are going to go for this because this is going quite fast, quite well. Anyway, all those on YouTube, thank you all much for watching. I will see you soon. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay hydrated, especially in this heat wave. This has been Chrono Vacadia Network. Signing off.